different. We did denial research. That's really good. People who called them but didn't, or walked in and didn't use them. They had names, and we went and about 50 people.
Really?
Interviewed. Found one name.
How do you make the phone ring? 50 different individuals, all within their zone where they can do work, and 50 people don't buy. I mean, there's definitely a problem. I mean, you're always going to have some that don't.
No, yeah, but so I only wanted to talk to one. They wanted me to talk to the people that bought, and I said, I don't want to talk to them. I want to talk to the people that didn't. And they couldn't get their head around that. Once they got their head around that, then it was like,
finding great people to hire can be,
then they almost didn't accept. Well, no, they didn't accept what I told them, because if they did, they would have fired somebody. I think the person that had most of the problems in common, along with the worst thing that can happen to a business, you're not memorable in any way, shape, or form. They don't know you.
Would you want me to do extra?
Therefore, they don't care about you.
Because the custom mattress.
What's that? Oh, let me show you. Just change when you paste this. 723. Just in the bracket.
We can do it later. We can do it now. We can do it whatever you want.
You follow what I'm saying?
No, you can do it. We'll get one together too.
Oh, I love that. Here, camera, I'll take one.
As long as you don't mind being showed up by my looks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't question it.
Bob, if you get the vacuum like
Now,
this, so we can
now
run
we
everything like this.
Go to the view.
I've been listening to you for 20 years, man. A long time
Cool.
fan.
That
Yeah,
is so cool.
Yeah.
And get him with that.
Sure.
See, before it was going way over
That's
here.
very cool.
Because the 850.
Oh, was it? It's a
Yes, but every time when you repay,
just
No, that's great.
thrilled to
This
be
stuff here.
part of this.
Well, make sure you chime in, man.
Yeah.
You tell me, I'll follow your lead, and yeah.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. That's what we do each and every day. And I suspect this will be my last day for these, Mark.
No, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, for those, but you'll have a patch on, won't you?
Yeah, for a while.
You're going to look like a pirate.
Anyway, I had my so most people have these done within a week or two. I waited with my surgery. By the way, I'm a consumer advocate. We talk about everything in the world we can talk about, including this new surgery for eyes at Icon. I'm having it done. Not LASIK. This is where they actually remove your lens, put in a new one. Normally, people have it done with cataracts, but here's the problem. Not the problem. Here's the good thing. So many people found out about these new lenses that are multifocal, meaning you can see far, you can see near, you can see in between, that they said, why not just take out my old lens? Why do I want to have LASIK? Literally, for the same price, maybe a little tiny more, you get a new lens. And then the new lens is multifocal.
And you can never get cataracts, correct?
Never. They're fake. They're artificial.
It's like one step away from a bionic eye, and I'm not kidding.
And so I had the right eye done, and I waited because I wanted to make sure it was perfect. Like I said, a lot of people do it within 2 weeks. I waited months. Now I'm going to have the left one done. Listen, for one time for several weeks, as a consumer show, we get complaints. We never, I've said this before, we never wake up in the morning and decide we're going to go after anyone, ever. We get complaints and we investigate them. We had a complaint from a Navy guy months ago, Mark. And what was the situation? You looked into it.
Oh, man, it was crazy. This guy, Jim Weiss, 44th Auto, basically had his car, according to the caller, which we pretty much verified everything, had his car in Bennett while he was deployed. The guy's uncle went down to pay for it. The owner says, no, you also owe me storage for the last 6-7 months or whatever it was. He had a hard time finding parts for the car. Eventually, the owner, Jim Weiss, let him take his car for what was owed without the storage, and he got it out of there. We got it over to one of our referral list members, Budget A1. He got it repaired, got it restored. Everything's good now. But it was a nightmare. The guy wouldn't cooperate whatsoever.
So after that, we called Jim for his side of the story, and he got very nasty, very mean. I mean, we simply wanted his side of the story.
Everything was my fault, your fault, everything but his fault.
We did want to work it out. We swear we wanted to work it out. Then we looked at some other areas and found other reports of similar people. Then we just happened to have a call last week.
Friday.
She said Jim had her car for 8 months or something and won't give it back and wants more money. What was the story, Janelle?
Yes.
What's the story about Jim Weiss and 44? Well, I don't know if he's even calling himself 44th Auto, but anyway, go ahead. What was the story?
Okay, so he's had our car for almost a year. We agreed to about $2,500 in payment on the, and repairs on the car.
Yeah.
We've tried to get it back several times with cash in hand, and it hasn't been ready. It hasn't been ready. We had to pay for the machining of the engine. We had to pick it up. We've had to pick up parts. We've put $2,400 into the car already. Now he's telling us we have $2,100 left on the car. And I understand that we did not get a written estimate, but from my understanding from MVRA law in Colorado, it's on him.
Right.
To do that written estimate.
If there's no written estimate, that's still it still doesn't allow them to overcharge. They still have to get approval for increases.
It's like deja vu.
But in any case, so your car's been there, you can't get it back because you have to pay more, or is it done?
Well, I'm not exactly sure about that because we agreed to pay him $500 a week until it was paid. And the second payment...
Now, as I said, I don't mind, unless you have that in writing, I don't mind him wanting payment in full. But you said he doesn't want payment in full. He wants more than the original price. That's the whole point here. I said this last week. If he wants payment in full, that's not the problem. The problem is if you say he increased the price. Did he increase the price?
Yes.
By how much?
Well, it was originally supposed to be $2,500. It's now $2,100 left. We've already spent $2,400.
So it's double.
So he increased it by about $1,500.
Oh, by $1,500.
And I called Tynan's, and it would have been $4,500 to replace the rods that were bent on the timing belt.
Yeah.
For brand new ones, not machined ones.
And he quoted you how much?
$2,500.
Okay.
Which actually sounds in line until you start adding the other monies.
So now he wants 25 plus another 15. Is that the main issue?
Yeah.
Now why he texted or something Friday, though.
We're going to talk to Jim Weiss. He's on. He's willing to come on.
But what did he text you? Basically a threat saying he was going to sell it unless you brought the title down?
No, he won't. So he agreed to the $500 a week payment.
For how? Wait, the $500 a week for the $1,500 increase, or for the original $2,500?
For the $1,500 increase.
So you agreed to pay the extra $1,500.
Well, we really didn't have a choice that we knew of.
But now you can't even get that done.
No, because now he wants the title to the car, and the problem with that is, we've already put in $2,100 on that car.
Let's let him explain his side of the story on this case. This is Jim Weiss. Jim.
Hi, I'm here.
Yes, sir. So anyway, you heard Janelle. If you want to address it, or I can ask you questions, whatever you want.
Well, I'll start from the beginning. They bought this car, I suppose. I'm not sure the exact thing, but they bought the car, and the timing belt went. But keep in mind, this thing isn't a Ford Pinto. It's a 2000 Volkswagen Jetta. It's got 4 valves per cylinder, so there's 8 valves in it. 16 valves in the whole engine. So this thing is it's an 18-year-old car, a gazillion miles on it, and so they called me up in a frantic. I'm not going to go over the whole story because it's just not. We'd be here. We take the whole show.
You can go over whatever you want. It's your business. Go ahead.
Okay, so what ended up happening was, long story short, they came. They borrowed a tow chain. They brought it in on a Sunday evening, dropped it off here, and was complaining. They just bought the car, lost the timing belt. How much to at it? And I told them, I said I would go ahead and pop the cover off the top and take a look at it, and I wouldn't charge them to look at it. However, I couldn't get it for a while. So I'm not really a repair shop. I'm a build shop.
Did you quote a price up front?
Yeah, well, yeah. After they said, you know, let's go ahead and open it up and look at it. Yes, I did quote them a price up front.
Okay, and was that the $2,500?
Yeah, and this is exactly what I told them. And I've got this marked on the repair order because I've got some pretty good notes on this thing here. I actually talked to her husband, and I think this is where a lot of the problem goes because some of her words don't even make any sense to me. It was the average cost on these Volkswagens because they're so expensive. When they lose the belt, it takes out massive amount of valves.
Right, it does.
Volkswagen wants $90 a valve. 13 of the 16 valves were bent. So you've got almost $1,300 in valves.
So why did you quote $2,500?
Okay, well, let's wait a minute. It's $2,500, and this is what I quoted him. I said $2,500 plus any machine work, any head work, and that's what it was, the head work. Because we don't know until we physically pull the head off.
Did you tell her that it could be more when you said $2,500, but it could be more?
$2,500. I said that the labor and the average cost in labor to do this, and we go through all data. It's $2,500 plus the head work, whatever the head work is, and that's something that we pull it off and we see the valves bent. We send it down to the machine shop.
So you're asking for 25 plus 15, which is not out of line for what she. What?
Tom, no, that's not. No, let me finish.
Okay.
No, I'm not asking. I'm asking for what is on my invoice here.
Which is how much?
Well, with the added stuff, because let me finish the whole story.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, James comes in, and her husband is not. He's not a computer geek that doesn't know how to drive a car. He's a construction company. He has his own little shop. He works on his own cars. He's been in here numerous times. He brought axles in. I worked on his axles. I pressed joints in. Never charged him a dime the whole time. The whole time was, we don't have the money yet. We'll get back to it. So here's the estimate. I told him, I said, okay, listen, if you guys are having a hard time paying for this, I'll give you a list of the machine shops. You know, this is my labor, and this is what I have in parts to do this car. If you want to buy new parts, it's $90 plus whatever the machine work is, the machine mill ahead and do the valve job. Or you can try to find a used head. We did, couldn't find a used head. And so I said, well, you know, if I send over to the machine shop, I'm going to charge you 25% because I'm a business. I gave him a list of machine shops that I use. He takes it over there, drops it off, and it's over to the machine shop for, well, they found a used head, put used valves in it, did a valve job on it, and everything else. And they did the head work. I had nothing to do with the head work.
Okay.
They fixed that for me. So all I'm asking for is the invoice around $2,900, and that's because he added hoses, motor mounts.
All right, so you want $2,900 basically.
Yeah, well, actually, not even that, because it's $2,984 if I'm not mistaken. I got my notes here. $2,984 for all of my work. Okay, so far now, Janelle.
I think she was saying that she thought that head work was going to be part of that price.
No, I'm asking Janelle to talk to me. So Janelle, $2,900 to them. Are you willing to pay that? He says it's $2,900.
Okay, so we're still looking at. We paid the machining.
How much was the machining?
It was around $1,000.
Okay, you paid.
We paid for some parts that we took out,
right?
Which was around $350.
Okay.
$350, $400. So we put in that.
So that's $1,400. What else?
$1,400. We've given him $1,000.
Okay, but it's now $1,000. So that's $2,400.
Okay, so that's $2,400.
Now, is that Jim? Is that $2,900 minus what she already paid, or is that $2,900?
No, it's $2,900 and whatever minus the $1,000, so it's only $1,900.
Okay, see, I don't think that's unreasonable.
Where she's coming up with these figures, I have no freaking
I don't think it's unreasonable. That comes to $4,300 total, and even Tynan's quoted you about $4,500.
That's for a new one, though.
Okay. Well, okay.
Well, it's not going to get a new head because I don't even think they manufacture those heads anymore. It's going to be probably a recondition.
All right, so listen, bottom line is this, is that, Janelle, the total job will be $4,300. Hold on a second, Jim. I don't think, okay, Now, I don't care, Mark. I don't care what we've gone through right now. This does not sound unreasonable so far. I got to find out.
I think what she's going to say is that original price at $2,500 she thought included the headwork. They ended up paying the headwork, so she feels like she doesn't have to.
I totally agree. But is it reasonable to assume that you're going to get all that done for $2,500?
Let's call one of our experts and ask what
and how about it's been a year?
So I understand. I understand that. Some of that time was a machine shop. Now, I'm not sticking up for Jim, but if he's going to come on and give his side of the story, we have to at least listen to it, right? We have to. So now let's investigate it. Jim, we might get, well, not might, we will get back to you, but let's investigate it. Let's find out if you bent your rods and your valves due to a timing belt break. Go to Alaramas, call him. You get a timing belt break with an interference engine. About what will that cost to fix? We'll talk about this and more, plus our special guest, Plumbline Services, coming up.
The thing is, we got to listen, and he's going to come on and give his side.
No, I love it. He does not sound like the nutbag from a year ago.
Until the end, he's trying to get pretty irritated.
A little bit. Come on, let me finish.
Clear up on that stretch. Something that's clearing up pretty good is driving I-25 downtown. A little bit of
Last time.
Oh, okay. So he wants to still heavy on the approach to I-25.
Yep, probably brings you a little closer to the Lord, doesn't it?
So, Mark?
Yes, sir.
See, I feel bad if this guy really does have cancer and had a maybe a come to Jesus attitude.
Well, something's changed in him.
Yeah, I know.
This is not the same smartass throwing us under the bus a year ago.
The smartest thing he could do is what he's doing.
Can I ask Jim Weeks for the year, make, and model? Janelle doesn't know it.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no problem.
But we really need to get an accurate estimate. Do not tell them what he is charging. We ask them, if you have an interference engine and it damaged the head and the valve, what will it cost to machine the heads
and replace?
I gotta write that down. I don't know what. Can I see your pen for a second?
New valves.
Interference
Engine. Tiny belt broke. They needed to machine the head
and replace all the valves.
I think it was 16.
Replace all valves, 16 valves.
I thought he said the valves were machined. I don't know.
No, he said replace. He said
16 valves
16 of them were.
and new heads.
No.
New, just machine head and new valves. Machine head and new valves.
Timing belt replacement. Replace 16 valves. Machine the head.
I don't even know if we really care about those R&R because
I
they
just
pay
want to
the
know,
other guy.
how much is this whole thing going to cost?
Tell them the breakdown too between the engine and the machine shop.
Right. No.
The labor and the machine shop.
I don't want to tell them anything. I want to know what a job like this costs.
Yeah.
I don't want to just counterfeit.
Oh, here's your pen.
No. What I'm saying is just have them break down the machine shop that they give you. Don't say anything about the price.
Who?
Whoever you're calling.
Just ask Al. We're going to be asking him how much this would be at a shop.
Perfect.
Okay, that's all. And then we'll ask him.
Perfect.
And if he's not available for the live, I'll get Kevin.
Yes.
But make sure you know the car.
Although, if you know it has 16 valves,
Well, I thought he said 16 were bad. I thought that's...
no, he said there were 16 valves total and 13 were damaged. But he said the machine shop replaced them all. Or he said he said 13 were bent. I thought he said they went out and got all new valves. So, what do you think? Yes. Now, what do you think is going on with Jim? How many times?
He's definitely changed. So his house and garage, somebody just sent that as up for sale last 2 months.
No, just a shop.
No, shop and house.
No, I think he's got two though. Hold on.
Okay, now these guys are sticking up. Mark knows. Did you read this one? Mark knows this truth. Tom's off his rocker. Mark knows about this guy. Because Mark is usually the harder one when we do this, the good bad.
Yeah, you get good cop, bad cop.
Mark will usually take the hard stance.
The one on the 88th is where the car is now is his house, and he has a garage or a barn next to it.
Oh, that's not a shop.
The actual 88 auto is up for sale.
44th.
40. Well, no, but it was. I'm sorry, it was on 88th Street, which makes no fucking sense. But. Welcome to my world.
The only system that completely leaves you.
Now, let me see the one you're talking about. Did they just send it?
No, it's sent to you too.
When you're hiring for
A live,
business, you don't need lots of candidates.
Where is it?
You need the right candidates.
Just said Google search on his address.
With an
No, I saw that. What are you talking about? Mark knows. That's what I'm talking about.
No, on there. You'll look at it. It's one of the messages came into Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook.
An independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim with a $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit.
It's hard being right constantly.
A lot of pressure.
I mean, the pressure's unbelievable.
Honest analysis and...
Boy, the media's really come down on Trump for not being hard enough on the white supremacist, Mark. What do you think? You think they're just looking for criticism? Well, it's.
I don't think he's a white supremacist, if that's where it's
but
going.
it's the same argument they made about Barack Obama not coming down hard enough on calling
Black
Muslim,
Lives Matter.
No, Muslim extremists. Muslim extremists.
That's true. That's a good point.
It didn't.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We are researching as best we can. We are not telling our people anything about price. We're just saying a 2000 Volkswagen Jetta, 16 valves, head machine, valves replaced.
He sounds so different. I got to throw this out. It sounds like a different guy. I have no idea why, but a year ago when I was going through the 44th Auto, both of us, he was a jerk, quite frankly, and now he seems normal. Something has happened to this man. I have no idea what it is.
Well, you can ask him.
Maybe he found Christ.
You can ask him. Now, Suzanne, you're getting someone? Okay. Bob Logan is with us from Plumline Services, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric, and Drains. Bob, welcome. This is actually a weird season, not too hot, not too cold. So it's a good time, I think. I always tell people, get your furnace checked now. You know why? Because how many times are you at sub-zero weather, somebody says you got a bad furnace?
Absolutely, Tom.
And you're not going to shop around.
No, you're not. And that's I recommend that to all of our clients, is to be proactive, get things done before you need it.
Now, here's what I want to know. Do the prices vary with the season?
Absolutely. We're like any other industry, the airline industry, the resort industry. If you want to go skiing.
So if demand is low, you'll get better breaks.
Yes.
Okay, that's it in a nutshell.
And that's not just us, that's our manufacturers, because manufacturers want to move their products as well, and so they'll push out good deals to us.
So it's a good deal now for furnaces for sure, and even air conditioners because it's end of season, right?
Right. So we got some great tune-up specials. We got an AC tune-up for $39, a furnace tune-up for $29. If you do them both at the same time, and this is actually an ideal time to do that, $59.
Now, so you give a written report with the $59. Do they get any work with that? Any adjustments?
Well, there's no real adjustments in that.
Okay.
We take it through a sequence of operations.
So if you find stuff wrong,
pressures.
If you find stuff wrong, do you buffet it like this item, this item, this item, this item, or give one price?
We can separate it or put it all together.
Like, so if you say we found this, 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 and this.
Yes, they'll get separate pricing on each individual.
Are there certain things that are more expensive? In other words, certain things that have to be done, other things that can be put off? Do you do it like that too? These are priorities, but these can be put off?
Yes. So obviously if it's a safety concern, we want to get those addressed right away.
Okay. Or something that might be a breakdown.
Correct.
All right. Plumline Services, we'll go back right now. Al Aramis, Pro Auto Care. By the way, hey, Al.
Yes, sir.
2 locations, Evans and I-25 and Bowles and Santa Fe, of course, just around that area. I mean, but here's what I want to talk about before you tell us about your free inspection. Let's say I have a Volkswagen Jetta 2000, 16-valve engine. I break the timing belt. 13 of the 16 valves bent. I have to have the head machined, the valves replaced. How much is that job with removal and installation? What's that job out the door?
Well, out the door, here's the issue with that. When the head goes to the shop, the thing you worry about is that you crack the guides. And if the guides are cracked, they have to be heated, pressed out, and new ones put in, because the new valves won't seat. So that's what makes those estimates. All you can do.
Well, give me a range.
I'm going to start at $2,000. Okay, I'm going to start at $2,000. That's pulling it off. That's doing the entire top end reseal. Those motors are notorious for oil leaks on the top end. So you probably have to go through the vacuum pump, get everything sealed, and then you do your valves. But you want to be certain your pistons aren't damaged too, Tom, when you bang those.
No, well, the valves, the pistons. Okay, let's say the pistons weren't. What are what's for the head, let's just say, basically.
So say he went in, and out of all those valves, he broke a bunch of guides. You're probably north of $2,500. Okay, but would you say with machining and everything, would you say $4,300 then is out of the universe? No, it's not, because what happens when you take those apart, that whole front end on those motors leak like crazy. And so they may be taking that timing belt apart, but they're probably doing front seal. They might be doing front pan seal. See, when you get into those cars, they're notorious for leaking oil, and you're just going to hurt yourself doing a timing belt only. You might want to reseal some stuff. So, not seeing the paperwork, you don't know. Okay, without knowing exactly what was done, you don't know. Yeah.
Because,
$4,000 on Europeans is not a shock to me. At all.
Now, what about this free inspection, Al, while I have you on?
So people now get real busy. They got school, they got running around, grocery getting, all this, and guess what? You neglect things like your brakes. Maybe your inside pad is worn out. Maybe you got some leaky struts or a hose that's about to blow. What about the peace of mind of just getting it checked out, completely written up, photographs of anything that's an issue? We'll let you know what needs to be done now, what can wait. We'll do that for free. That's a $59 value. Go through the car, pop the brake, take a look at the rears, look at the fronts, look at the tires, do a complete
Is this limited for each store or unlimited?
Well, for Martino, it's a Monday deal. That's the deal. If you call today, you get it. You call tomorrow, you don't get it.
Now, do they have to come in today or just schedule today?
Schedule it this month or beginning of next. I'm going to be honoring it.
But you got to call today, and it's a free inspection, 303-PRO-AUTO, 303-PRO-AUTO. The website is 303proauto.com. Al, thank you. Now, okay, what did we learn? Basically what we knew before.
We need to figure out exactly what she's getting charged for.
That's right. I'm wondering if we can take a look at the invoice. Find out if we can look at the invoice, Suzanne, to find out her invoice from the machine shop, and then his invoice from his shop. Well, let's find out. I mean, we don't know. We're shooting in the dark.
You still have Al up?
Yeah.
Just ask him what the R&R is. Forget about the machine shop. How much the shop's labor?
How much is the shop labor for R&R? Al. Oh, did he hang up? He might have hung up. So here's the thing. There's no need to keep discussing this until we know what was done and whether that's fair or not. I mean, really. And so, Janelle, we need to know, what was done at the machine shop, and then we need to know what Jim, see if Jim will fax us or get us a copy of the invoice. We want to solve the problem. Now, did you want to talk to Jim personally? Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I would like to.
Jim, you're on the air. Would you mind talking to Mark for a minute here? Jim? Are you there? Did he hang up? Jim? He might not still be there. We'll get him back up. We'll get him back up, and then we'll talk. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on with Troy? Troy, what's happening? Troy?
I'm doing good.
What's going on? What's happening with your trash?
Well, I recently bought a house, and as you know, when you buy a house, you get a bunch of flyers on the door.
Yep.
I'd recently got a flyer for $10 a month for trash removal, which I'd been putting off because I didn't want another bill generated, but so I went ahead and took advantage of the $10 flyer. American Trash Removal wanted me to email them a copy because they didn't believe that was their flyer. So I emailed the copy. They agreed that it was their flyer, and I set up the $10 a month trash removal, and I went ahead and paid for the year. For $120 a month.
Sounds too good to be true to me. But anyway, what happened then?
Yeah, exactly. And they sent it over to their supervisor. They approved it, this and that. So I thought I had paid for it for the $120 a month.
Yeah.
Everything was all set.
I can see that. Yeah.
I had my trash picked up for 2 weeks.
What happened then?
Had it picked up for 2 weeks, and then on the third week, it's still sitting out there, and everybody else's is picked up. So I called them up and asked them.
Now, do they do the rest of the neighborhood?
Yeah, they did everybody else's.
So let's speed right to the issue. Are they saying we're not going to do it anymore for that price? Because I don't believe that you can hold them to a one-year contract. If they said $10 a month, did it say for the year? Did it say for 2 years? Did you sign a one-year deal? I don't know what, I mean, I could say $10 a month for the first month or for the first 3 months or for the first 6 months. What were the conditions? Do you know? What did you actually sign?
Well, I actually didn't sign anything. This was over the phone.
Well, I don't think that you can hold them to a 12-month contract at $10 a month. How many months did they actually do it?
Well, they only picked it up for 2 weeks.
Oh, they didn't even do 1 month?
I'd like to see what that flyer looks like.
Yeah, I have a copy of it.
Does it say for a year? What does it say for a year? Does it say anything at all that could shed light on this?
Yeah, on the flyer, it didn't say 1 month, it didn't say 3 months, it didn't say 6 or a year, but I went ahead and called and I wanted to take advantage of that $10 a month.
No, I understand that. So are they saying now they're not going to honor it? Is that the bottom line here? They're not going to honor it?
Well, they said that on my voicemail, they said that they would honor it for 6 months, and then it goes up to 19.
Well, you know what? Take advantage of the 6 months.
Well, I did. I did say I was going to go ahead and take advantage of that, but my trash was sitting out on the drive.
Okay, for sure.
And I had a whole pile of it. Now I have a whole nother week being piled up.
So let's give them a call. I mean, that's really the bottom line. Let's just call them. I mean, they say they'll do it for 6 months.
Send us a copy of that flyer, too, at live.
He says he doesn't know if he has it. That's the problem. 303-713-8255. That is a big problem. When I mean, how many times have we seen this where people don't keep the original flyer? Again, it's a flyer is not a contract. I have to tell you that. Even if they said no, we're not doing it at all, we changed our mind. Do you understand that that is not even false advertising? It isn't. They could say, yeah, we put that out there and then we changed our mind. It's not. People think, oh, I got them on false advertising. Okay, where do you go with that? The police? No, where do you go with false advertising? You go to the Attorney General. You say, hey, they said this. The Attorney General, what will they do? Crickets, crickets, nothing. Now, what if they get 500 of them? Then they might do something. This is the problem, okay? Even if they did it and they changed their mind, there's not much you can do about it. So let's just figure it out, okay? Because it's not going to be a big deal. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for all your garage door needs. If you need to get it inspected for any reason, they would love to do it free of charge just to be your garage door company. And if you need an opener, hey, these LiftMasters start at $299 with Wi-Fi and battery backups. Give them a call, 303-565-6409, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
I'm in the Blaze at noon.
What's that? Okay. Oh, okay. Let me just work in some emails here.
There's a little more to that story.
What?
He told him he wanted that he do it for the 6 months, and then they said, I want you to come out and pick up this trash that was there.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're not going to do that until next week. And so then he fired him.
So YouTube audio is fine, but Facebook audio is kind of double. I don't know why. Daphne told me about it, so I checked, and sure enough, it's kind of double.
Wow. She also said it's okay now, though.
Tim Weiss is back on 6.
For what reason? Do we have any invoices?
Well, you said Mark wanted to talk to him.
Oh, that's right. Okay, okay.
But that being said, he's not at the shop on Monday, so he can email us an invoice tomorrow.
Good.
Okay.
Is
So
he
you
being
still
nice
want him
to you?
on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his new pleasant.
Did you tell Mark wanted to talk to him?
No, I just said Tom wanted to talk to him.
Okay. Okay. Should we? No, I'll just talk to him. Okay.
Okay, and then real quick, we might have to have a longer discussion about it, but Mark really kind of told me the ins and outs, his thoughts on that Verizon cell tower, and I just wonder if we should warn Lauren, look, if we get Larry Otterstein held responsible, he's going to go bankrupt and nothing's going to happen.
No.
If we hold Weld County,
Verizon is responsible.
and what Mark says about that is Verizon there's no way we're going to be able to.
They hired a guy.
Oh my God! They hired the same guy. That is their agent, for God's sakes. If you think there's immunity there, they hire a guy to do their cell phone tower and say, "Oh, we have nothing to do with it."
But if you hire me to be a representative to
if I construct a tower and I hired you to get the permit, it is absolutely my responsibility to make sure you did that right. Absolutely, positively. That's called agency.
Mark disagrees with
Well, it's the law of agency. Disagree with the law. Do you know about that? I mean, if you hire a company, okay, I'm sure you hire a company to go out and do a sewer. What happens if they screw it up? Is it your, yeah, exactly.
Well, he spent half hour beating this into my head over the weekend, not literally.
Well, I don't care. I mean, I don't care. Verizon is absolutely at fault, and Cranac saw it. Everyone sees it. And so does the county.
Yes.
However, there's immunity. However, and
even
so
if
is
the county
Otterstein's
is held
company.
responsible, though, the taxpayers would be the one flipping the bill.
Well, yeah, but not
that's Mark's point with Wells.
Well, yeah, but not those taxpayers. It would be the county in general, which would aggregate the loss. But Otterstein's company is a company. It's a cell phone construction company.
So Verizon can't come and say, well, we have...
What if they built the tower, then sold it to Verizon?
Well, that's totally different. Totally different.
Hey, time out.
That is different.
I'm thinking we ought to take this live. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think so too, actually. But what does our program director say?
He's out of Broncos, so I think it's kind of our call at this point. If we want to take it, we should take it.
That's probably a good idea.
I actually think we should.
Can we just tell Jim Weiss we'll call him back?
First of all, you want to make sure.
If we take, no, let's wait. And we're just telling, we may be preempted, but yes, we'll come right back to him. Yes, yes.
So I'll keep an eye on it.
Yes, for sure. I think that's a good call.
This could be, this could be a pretty good speech.
I have no problem.
I think what happened is that company did everything, then turned around and sold it to the highest bidder, maybe, which happened to be Verizon.
No, here's what happens. Because, you know, Dave Rumbold's in the business. His companies do this. What they do is they work for a carrier. Okay? They can work for 2 or 3 carriers, otherwise they're employees. But they work for a carrier for that particular site. They don't build on spec because they have to build towers in a certain way. You know that. So Verizon says we have this site, and then they go out and hire the company.
If that's the way it went down, I agree with you. But if it went down, this company went out
and built a site.
Well, basically got the permits, got everything, then went out and found someone to erect it.
You're right.
And then a bankruptcy, it's over.
That's right. It is. It is totally over.
Which has made some of the most successful personal service franchises over the past decade.
But they could still require Verizon to take it down if it wasn't done right, even though, like if I hire
the weird part is,
if I hire a guy to build a garage for me and he puts it up wrong, the county can still
go. He's going right there.
I'm going to introduce it and all right. Okay, we're going
17 top 500 and the fastest growing franchise lists.
I'm not even going to play bumper music, so just ready.
Tell me when. Tell me when.
Franchise, call
15 seconds.
431-4436. That's 832-431-4436.
Trade deals.
Or visit franchising.amazing.com.
5 seconds.
I'm Tom Martino. Listen, we are not a political show, but we are a radio station. We do have to let you know when there is news. So the president is addressing this situation. We are going to go live. Please don't hang up. We'll get to all of your calls, and we will go to this live. Let's do it.
Discussing economic issues in greater detail later this afternoon. But based on the events that took place over the weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia, I would like to provide the nation with an update on the ongoing federal response to the horrific attack and violence that was witnessed by everyone. I just met with FBI Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The Department of Justice has opened a civil rights investigation into the deadly car attack that killed 1 innocent American and wounded 20 others. To anyone who acted criminally in this weekend's racist violence, you will be held fully accountable. Justice will be delivered. As I said on Saturday, we condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. And as I have said many times before, no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We all salute the same great flag. and we are all made by the same Almighty God. We must love each other, show affection for each other, and unite together in condemnation of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. We are a nation founded on the truth that all of us are created equal. We are equal in the eyes of our Creator. We are equal under the law, and we are equal under our Constitution. Those who spread violence in the name of bigotry strike at the very core of America. 2 days ago, a young American woman, Heather Heyer, was tragically killed. Her death fills us with grief, and we send her family our thoughts, our prayers, and our love. We also mourn the 2 Virginia state troopers who died in service to their community, their commonwealth, and their country. Troopers Jay Cullen and Burt Bates exemplify the very best of America, and our hearts go out to their families, their friends, and every member of American law enforcement. These 3 fallen Americans embody the goodness and decency of our nation. In times such as these, America has always shown its true character, responding to hate with love, division with unity, and violence with an unwavering resolve for justice. As a candidate, I promise to restore law and order to our country, and our federal law enforcement agencies are following through on that pledge. We will spare no resource in fighting so that every American child can grow up free from violence and fear. We will defend and protect the sacred rights of all Americans, and we will work together so that every citizen in this blessed land is free to follow their dreams in their hearts and to express the love and joy in their souls. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm Tom Martino, back with you, and we just heard the President's remarks. We thought that was important enough we need to bring it to you, and for those who were saying he didn't single out these groups, he did now. So let's move on, shall we? 303-713-TALK is our number, 303-713-8255. Plumline Services with us. We were talking about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. A word on drains. What's the toughest season on drains? Is there one?
There really isn't a season when it comes to drains. It's more usage, but typically, for whatever reason, when we have a lot of moisture,
spring rains,
or we've been having a lot of rains lately, and the roots are active. Roots getting into a sewer line is not normal, regardless of what anybody tells you.
Okay.
A properly functioning sewer line should not have roots in it.
Yeah, so if you have it clean, though, it's the frequency. If you can keep it under control and you clean it once every 2 years, that's not a bad deal.
Well, it's not, but the problem is
it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse, and you don't know at what point that little crack can.
And what I'd like to talk about are ways you can do it without tearing up the entire yard and replacing it in a minute, because there's some new technology. It's not good in every case, but in some cases you guys have been able to do it.
Yes.
I want to bring Jim Weiss back. Jim Weiss is a guy with 44th Avenue Auto. We had an occasion to talk to him a few months back. It wasn't so pleasant, back and forth.
It's like a year.
A year ago, about this Navy guy, and then that was all resolved. The guy got his car back. There was some question as to whether he owed Jim more money or not. Then this most recent one, the woman said, I needed some head work because I broke my timing belt, and it's an interference engine, and she said he had it for 8 months. But part of that was a machine shop, as Jim explained, and she said, I think I'm paying too much because I paid for the machine shop, now I'm paying Jim, and it's all going to come, bottom line, to about, it's going to come to about $4,300. So, but Mark made an observation. Now, Jim, I don't know, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine, but Mark wanted to talk.
Hey, Jim, you're like Jekyll and Hyde to me. You sounded so normal, if you will, today. You actually had a good argument. Here's what happened a year ago when we had an issue. My God, man, it was nothing but yelling at us and blaming us for different stuff. You seem like a different guy. Has something changed in your life or something?
Well, I grew a beard.
Now that sounds like the old Jim.
No, but Jim, seriously, so everything's cool. I mean, Mark just asked. This woman mentioned. We don't want to make light of it. She mentioned that you said you had cancer.
Well, I don't feel comfortable talking.
Okay, then we won't.
But I'll just tell you that nobody gets out of this life alive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And until you've had something like that or an event like that, you just have no clue. Just have no clue.
Hey, is your old shop up for sale? It looks like it is for about $1 million.
You know, it used to be. It's not anymore. Yeah. Well,
it looks like it's on MLS.
Yeah, not anymore. It's supposed to be on. See, and I don't want to spill my own personal life, but you know, when the doctor scoots over to you in the chair and he looks at you in the eye and he says, you know, you're a very sick man, you should probably get your affairs in order. Then it makes you wonder, you know, what life is really about, and that's why I don't work. Believe me, if you guys ever seen my shop, you'd wet your pants. It's really a nice facility, and Tom, I've been in business 40 years. You've never heard from me until recently. So
right.
I must be doing something right. I can tell you on one hand how many clients I've ever had problems with, and that's phenomenal in the automotive industry. And you know, you just everything's for sale. Hell, somebody bring me $1 million. I want to retire.
Okay, Jim, listen, we want to resolve this problem with you on the timing belt, and if you do have health problems, all kidding aside, we wish you the best. We'll pray for you. Or at least I will. I can't talk about godless Mark, but... Oh, I'm just kidding. Anyway, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We found a little more about this trash company thing. It wasn't exactly the situation where they said they wouldn't do it. I think Dan told us some more, Troy. You got pissed at the company because they wouldn't come and pick up the accumulated trash, so you fired him. Is that right? Are you there, Troy? He's not there. Man, all the better, because here's the deal. If you fired him, now I understand you want him to come and get that accumulated trash. They said they would do it on their regular pickup. Now, whether that's reasonable or not, I don't know. It depends on how much is there. But again, that was your choice.
I feel sorry if the guy really does have cancer.
Oh, he's something definitely changed that guy.
Then you start thinking, you know what all this about?
Sure. Yeah, he kind of trivialized it.
Did I misunderstand him? Because I thought she said it was 4,300 and he was saying, no, it's only 2,900 or something.
Yeah, but here's what it is.
Here's what it is.
Got it.
1,400 machine shop, $1,000 to him.
That she's already.
1,900 he wants.
That's the balance.
On top, yeah.
Okay. So it is 43 total. Okay.
But it doesn't sound like.
Well, let's not forget too. He did text her saying, "Bring me the title."
1,400
in your car.
1,000 for him. 1,900.
Well,
wait, I might be
enough
wrong.
to give her payments.
Yeah, it's 4,300. 4,300. But you know what?
I didn't look at it that way because I didn't hear about the payment part Friday. That's probably why he wanted the title. You're probably absolutely right. He was going to give him 3 weeks to pay $1,500 or whatever, right?
Right.
So he probably wanted to hold the title in the interim.
Just in case they paid a 500 and then split.
And then leave town. Yeah, you needed some collateral for giving her the flexibility to do payment.
What I mean by big and small, they are big when it comes to what they do. They can get you. So what should we do about this Lazy Days thing I forwarded to you guys?
What is it?
I don't know. I mean, is it something we should get on? They addressed it, right?
Right. They sent a thing here.
I would like to do it on the same day.
Well, I tried calling Shannon up to see if she could come on. And so I could
no matter what, though, we should do it because it would only be fair.
Well, Shannon is the person.
So he gets you the best prices.
That had
the consumer. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
So they called me. Where did you get
But
it
even
from?
if we can't get, just Lazy Days emailed me directly.
Okay. So Lazy Days sent what their corporate.
What was the main problem?
She had bought a 2016 back in January. Thing.
New?
New. Hadn't been there, and it's got trash apparently in the roof that's going to eventually shift over and leak, and it's trash in the roof.
So Janelle called back. She says we missed the issue, so Jim Weiss wants to hold for what Janelle has to say.
Listen, let's see what she says. We see the invoices, though. I want to know. Tell her what we missed, because people get bored going back to shit. Ask her off the air what we missed. Really? Because when people say that often, we didn't miss that. Ask her what we missed off the air. Because, or Dan, you can, ask her what we missed.
Janelle, in a nutshell, what did we miss?
Because we're going to revisit this when we see the invoices.
Which means they didn't take my side, Tom.
Yeah. You missed something because it sounds like you're siding with the other guy.
But
yeah, right.
another RV, so this was a forced.
Okay, hang on. Let me tell Tom. Okay, hang on.
Lazy Day was strictly a.
What she's saying is she's not disputing the 2,500. She's disputing the fact that Jim Weiss added on charges without giving her the option to say no.
Well, what difference does it make if she's not disputing? At this point, really.
Okay.
At this point, that's minutia that doesn't belong on the radio.
Okay.
What I want to do is this. You tell her what we're going to do. We'll let her say that afterwards. Because I want to get the invoices. If he did the work, if it's a fair price, she should pay it. If, you know, I mean, I don't know what else to say. If he didn't, she should.
Mark, there's debris in there that caused roof to bubble.
How would the debris get?
I don't know. Apparently, shit from the manufacturer. There's a wave in the back wall, and there's a crack in the front.
Is it under warranty?
Well, they said, Lazy Days said it's cosmetic.
Yeah, they do.
It's not
They're
in
like,
the 1-year warranty.
There's some allowance that was made, and they're like the only ones that employ the postal office on a Sunday.
They took it to another RV place, and they're working with Forest River.
They did it some, you know, my understanding with the postal service, the U.S. Postal Service, to make deliveries on Sundays. And it's only Amazon stuff that gets delivered on Sundays, apparently.
So we don't know.
I should forward you this article I just read on Amazon. It's an article from a couple years back, a few months back, but it's the most. It's the best article written on business strategy I've ever read.
Really? And who wrote it?
It's just a journalist who was writing on their strategy and how they, you know,
on Amazon strategy.
Yeah.
Oh, it is some kind of juggernaut.
How they protect themselves without vertically integrating and cost savings and still getting the quality of the service. And that's a challenge with vertical integration. You bring it all in-house and everything turns to bureaucracy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just...
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. Okay, so we have a sewer line that's going bad. We have to get it cleaned every year or every 2 years. The weeds are infiltrating, or we suspect there's a crack in it somewhere. I shudder at the thought of digging up this entire yard, laying down pipe. It's going to cost a lot. Now, Plumbline, you pride yourselves at having direct contractors who can do this under your roof. You own the equipment. You don't mark it up. But what if I don't want to do that? What are some other things available to me?
Well, there's a couple different items. One that we prefer, the method we prefer is called pipe bursting. And so let's say, for example, you're going to replace your entire sewer line. Rather than digging up your whole yard in the street, we'll dig a hole by your foundation next to your house, and then a hole out in the street next to the city tap, and then we'll literally pull a brand new line through your old line. So
that's amazing.
We're breaking
what
the
kind
old
of line
away.
Are you pulling?
It's a high-density polypropylene.
And so you literally pull it through.
We literally pull it through. So it breaks away your old line, pulls a brand new.
Why doesn't everyone do that?
Well, not everybody has the capability to do it.
No, I mean, why doesn't every one of your customers ask for that? Why do you have to have a backhoe if you can do that?
Well, typically it's because they've waited too long and the line has collapsed.
Oh,
once it collapses, we have no choice because we have to be able to run a large cable through the old line.
So right now, if you have, this is good. If you wait and it collapses, you're going to have to excavate and replace. But if you get to it soon enough, you can do pipe bursting in most cases.
Yes, and typically for a full line, it'll also save you maybe $2,000 or $3,000 by using this method, because we don't have to bring in as much materials, backfill, flow fill, less labor.
That could be in some cases half price.
Well,
no,
not on pipe burst, because we're talking about a full line.
Oh, okay, okay, because you can't do partial. You have to go from the house to the street.
Well, I mean, you could do the house to the sidewalk. You could do the sidewalk to the street. You could do a partial.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm just talking, overall.
But it is a brand new pipe. It's not a lining.
It's a brand new pipe. Yes, brand new pipe.
How does it break the old one?
Well, so we'll run this cable through the old line, and then we'll hook up what's called a bursting head. It's a large steel head, usually 6 inches. So your old line is always 4 inches, or almost always 4 inches.
So it's destroying the old line.
It's destroying the old clay or concrete line or Orangeburg or whatever your line is made out of. It's literally breaking it apart and then pulling this brand new plastic line through.
Mark.
I'm starting to get fired up thinking of this freaking Jim Weiss, the more I think about it.
And we're the only one I'm aware of that offers a lifetime warranty on this, because the line itself, the plastic, is going to last 700 years.
Now, Mark, why are you getting fired up?
Because you know what? He screwed that sailor so bad a year ago. Well, big deal. Now he's doing something normal. The more I think about it, I could care less about this guy. He was a jerk back then to someone serving our country. He tried to charge him storage on a vehicle that he couldn't fix in time. Now, because he's acting normal and apparently he's sick or whatever's going on, it's like he's a good guy. No, I don't think Jim is a good guy.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy right now either, because right now, hold on, what if he, first of all, I witnessed it. You're absolutely right. He was a total jerk. You're absolutely right. But are you saying to me, Mark, that people can't change?
I don't know if Jim can. How's that? No, people can change. Whether or not he has yet to be seen. And the more I think about it...
You think I'm a sap?
I don't think you're a sap, Tom.
No,
you've been doing this too long to be a sap. The guy sounded too damn normal to me.
Okay, let's ask our common man.
What do you think?
Hold on.
Do you remember his first call?
Good time.
I want to pipe in there.
Christian is here. Christian Renger. He's been listening for 20 years. Christian, we only have a couple seconds here, but what do you think in a nutshell? Did you believe him or not?
I think he sounds like a decent guy right now. I mean,
I think he's having a come-to-Jesus moment, but maybe not.
Maybe he just had a very bad day. Maybe he got the bad news about his health that day.
Let's see what people think. I'm Tom Martino. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
I mean, I don't remember the call a year ago.
What's that? Did you like that?
You really got fired up, man.
I think I was here when that call came in, or like the day after.
Mark was running the show.
Let's not let this go peacefully. Have a normal show.
Any close at Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, or Lowe's. And the opportunity for $1,000 cash. 3 days in Breckenridge for a new 55-inch flat screen. Call 720.
Tom, this is so exciting, man. Things move so fast in here. It's amazing. I'm loving it. It just is a thrill.
Like 20 years ago.
Paperless loan approvals with low rates to 97% loan to value and quick closes.
Yeah, it goes quick.
720-895.
It's just wild.
So the old stuff, is it when you pull it through, does it push it out? Or just goes by, just pushes it into the surrounding dirt?
Just in the surrounding dirt, yeah. Because again, it's either made out of clay, which is like the old clay,
like it just breaks up.
Clay fire,
right? Or concrete,
so it breaks up, or concrete, so it doesn't.
I had to do this at a house a few years ago, and that my wife and I owned. I mean, we live in a different house now, but it wasn't that type of operation. It was, they just had to replace the sewer line from the house to the street and dig it up, and it
so basically a whole trench.
Yep. Yeah. It was a bummer.
And I'll tell you what, that's the downside about this business. Let's face it, I could go up and down a street in Denver and knock on the door and say, I will give you a free sewer line. No charge at all. I just got to tear up your entire yard.
People were going to say no.
Hell no, I don't want that.
We were selling the house, so we were obligated. And we didn't know. That was the weirdest thing, is we had no idea that it was semi-collapsed. But we didn't have any plumbing problems. We didn't have toilets backing up. We didn't have drains backing up, but they just came in when we put the house on the market. They did an inspection, and they scoped this sewer line, and they said, your sewer line's collapsed. I said, what are you talking about? I don't even, I mean...
Yeah, it wasn't collapsed, I guarantee, because it wouldn't be functioning, but...
Or it had roots in it,
roots and offsets.
And it was kind of semi-collapsed. Yeah. But that's an amazing procedure you're describing where you... I mean, so the new line's got to be plastic, right? Because it's flexible somehow. So if you just dig 2 holes and somehow connect the dots...
Right, it's flexible, it's a thick-walled, high-density plastic.
The 5,000 store sale ends Monday. Only at your neighborhood
Sure.
Participating stores Friday through Monday only. See store for details.
Are store lines ever cast iron?
Inside your house they are. Once they exit the house, very rarely will they go into the yard.
Where quality candidates are, and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
This report is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 87 and a chance of thunderstorms. Tonight, mostly cloudy and a low about 60. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 85. Wednesday, partly sunny and a high of 81.
Switch to Boost and get 2 lines or 3 gigs of 4G LTE data per line for only $50. Plus, get up to 2 free LG X Power phones, all powered by the fast and reliable Sprint nationwide network. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to stay.
630 KHOW,
an iHeart radio station.
I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, because Ideal wants to make sure if they do a refinance first.
Yeah.
This is all animated. I was gonna.
I mean, what a procedure, right? That's just wild.
I don't know why anyone, if they have...
So that was a line.
I would start it immediately. You guys own this equipment?
See this plastic? That's the plastic. That's flexible.
God, it's got to be strong. That machine's got to be a...
Oh, it is. It's a...
Even better pricing.
Does it run off a truck,
How much
obviously?
pulling power does that probably have? What is it? Pulling that pipe, literally pulling that pipe.
That's the pipe going in.
That is too incredible.
It really is. I've never heard of such a thing. It's amazing.
That's pipe bursting, right?
Yeah. I just hadn't known about that.
God,
literally groundbreaking.
Yeah, so this shows how it's breaking away the old pipe.
Hey, send me the name of that agency we were talking about in here.
The
guy in his agency for Verizon.
Breaking the old one up.
Blows it up. Look at that. It's
got displays and shit on it. Invented. That is great. So you guys own this equipment?
Oh, hell yeah, man. We'll kill it.
That's not cheap.
Look at that. There it goes.
Badass. The 17's pretty cool looking, too.
Mark, when are we going to have a decision?
On what?
On our digital guys.
Oh, I don't know. I'm waiting for both the last 2 contracts. It made me think there for a moment. I'm just not jumping into it.
No, I know.
But we're real close. I mean, the good part is we now have a sheet, thanks to Mikey as well, that I can hand almost to anyone, and it is a complete diagram of exactly what we want. I mean, it's fucking incredible.
I have slots for presentation at these groups.
The future is brighter than you think.
Well, actually, this would be perfect for it if you wanted to go that far with it. I mean, it's step by step by step.
I'm going to put it in a video. You know, I'm going to do a video. That's the best way to do it, to be consistent.
Call right now.
You guys, I was going to suggest this. Man, it would be nice if you had videos for homeowners to see, that you could see with them on a thumb drive on certain things. If there is something that, like let's say you have to do a sewer job.
Or how about a furnace, had to replace the furnace filter in 6 months or something.
Yeah, but that's so basic. You can find a million of them. Or something unique. Like, I told you this before, what happens with the lightning strikes from electric, things like that will get clicks. But I'm not talking about clicks, I'm talking about something a homeowner,
they have,
or send them a link. Like, if they call in about a sewer replacement or something, wouldn't it be nice if you could email them a link, they can see you guys in action or something, that would just give them a level of comfort.
And interaction with it, and visual, you know.
Like, sure, just for different kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
It puts you in their home. and they feel something.
You know what would happen? And I hate to be the pessimist here, but they would call us a month later and say, hey, someone sent me a video, so I tried to repair it like on the video, and it didn't work.
And I broke
and I cut my fingers off.
No.
And now we're
I wasn't talking about doing it yourself. I wasn't talking do it yourself. I was talking about showing them what you will do for them.
I got to tell you one that I just read a review, almost exactly what you said.
Oh, man.
Okay, not Plumline.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter with special guest Plumline Services. Bob Logan, we've been talking about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and remember, one of the few companies that have their own drain division where they actually own the equipment to excavate and replace. And we were talking about this incredible technology where if you have not waited too long, you have weeds and tree roots coming through your drain and you have to clean them constantly or continually. That's not normal. If you wait too long, it's going to collapse or break or get worse and worse and worse. With this new technology, and it's not that new, but I guess I didn't realize how foolproof it is. If you have an existing pipe, you can pull this sucker through. Bam! And it destroys the old pipe and lays new pipe without excavating. You just have a hole at the beginning, a hole at the end, and they have this equipment that pulls this new pipe through.
It's groundbreaking technology.
Yeah, technically. I mean, literally. So, that's what we're talking about there. Now, we have other questions on plumbing, heating, cooling, electric we'll get to. Judy, though, we have a follow-up for her. This is incredible. Judy, explain how your accident happened, Judy.
I was driving down Colfax, and he just, I don't know if he was coming over regardless, so he just made his way over, but he got my whole driver's side all the way to the back, because his truck was a lot bigger than my little Toyota RAV4.
And what happened?
So when he got me, he shoved me into like Colfax and Xavier, and I had to turn or I was going to hit bricks. And then he was still facing like going west on Colfax, and I was going towards like Films Lake. And I stopped, I got out, and I had 3 kids in the car. They were crying. So, I looked at them, but he got out to yell at me, and it was my fault. But then he said, I'm going to pull out of traffic and so we can exchange information. And I said, okay, but something told me, all the people over there yelled, like, he's going to drive away. So I walked over there. With my phone, but I did not take a picture. I just looked at the license plate, and then I thought he was waiting, but all these people bombarded my car, so I was just going back to my car to make sure the kids were okay. And then I called the cops, and they called back. They said they were too busy with every other accident, so just to go in and make a police report since he had drove off.
What kind of vehicle was it? Do you remember?
It was a white truck.
Okay.
What did that tag match? We had our guys pull it, or we...
Yeah, I'm not going to...
We figured it out.
Yeah, somebody pulled it, and it's anonymous, but...
Does it match?
No, hold on. We didn't tell Judy.
I haven't given her the info yet.
No, that's why I was asking.
I'm not going to give the info on the air because we want to go after this guy, Judy. We have the information that came with that truck. If you can identify him
I didn't think she could.
Did you see his face?
I did, but it's been so long that...
How long has it been?
It's been like 2 months now.
Okay. It's not too long to go after him.
I can't say yes or no on that. I mean,
I mean, if you see him again, will it ring a bell or not, do you think? Because I don't want,
She saw the picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm... What's that?
She's seen the picture.
So the info I got was his name and his wife's name. I couldn't find him on Facebook, but I think I found his wife, so I just sent a picture of the family to see if she could identify the guy, but I can't even say for sure if that is his wife, Mark. I was just trying to make a connection.
Did the plate actually match that truck, though?
It came up with a truck.
Okay, a white one?
It doesn't say white on it.
See, here's the problem. We don't know. We know who owns that tag, who that vehicle's registered with, but we don't know who was driving it if she can't identify him.
Unless there's no one else except him.
He was wearing a construction suit, so the picture, it looks like somebody...
A guy in a truck wearing a construction suit. Come on.
Right. So then
No, but he said something to her. She sees it...
He told me it was all my fault, and then he told me he was going to pull over and get... I could
split. I bet.
identify him if I talked to him face to face.
He probably either had something in
on
the
his
truck.
Vehicle.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, Suzanne. If it's pretty recent, if we can find that vehicle and there's damage there, that's a no-brainer. But it doesn't matter. We know where this truck is. Let's just do it. I'll head out.
To the detective then, if it wasn't him.
Well, I have no idea, but that's what I'm saying. Let's just head out. How about, what day do you want to do this? I'll head up there. We'll do it during the show.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let's just do it. You know, I don't want to say where it is or who we're talking about here, but let's just go confront him. We'll do it live. We'll get good video on it, and I'll try to find his truck.
Him at his residence during the day.
Yeah, he might be working. I'm saying maybe we can find out more information if we give it to our private detectives now that we have this information about the guy. So, Judy, all we wanted to tell you is we did find him.
Yeah, we know who. We think we know who he is. The problem is, without you being an eyewitness, there is going to be a little bit of an issue there.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe we can find out where he works so we can get him coming back, or...
I mean, some of the basics, like his height, his color, stuff like that, you must know, right?
She's not going to see height, no, because he was in the truck. He never got out.
Yeah, he got out.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, if I seen this man face to face, I could identify him.
Didn't you say the cops had a warrant out for him?
Yeah, and okay, so the detective sent me something in the mail saying, and it just said like, we're still working on it. He did not sign the paper, the detective, and it just all the information, name and everything just says pending, and that's all that's on the paper.
It's a perfect example. You get into an accident and it's snowing or anything's happening, the cops can't get out there. Get some pictures. There's no excuse not to get pictures now. Everybody's got a cell phone.
I know.
But we're going to help you out.
Okay, but you're not always thinking about that after you just got slammed in the side.
I am.
Of getting, yeah, you got to nowadays. You really have to. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Whoa, Hope, what's going on with you, Hope?
Oh, shit. Hello?
Hey, what's happening?
So about 6 weeks ago, I went to Vegas, and when I came back to my apartment that I've been living in for a while, I found an infestation of bed bugs in my brand new couches and in my bed. And I
so Hope, they weren't there when you moved in?
No.
They happened when?
About 6 weeks ago.
Now, what do you think happened 6 weeks ago that would cause this?
I don't even know, but
it was while. Did you say you went away and came back?
Yeah, but they were already in there because there were eggs in my couches.
But how did that happen while you were away? Was someone in your place?
No.
How long did you live there total?
10 months.
Yeah. 10 months. Okay, so you were there 10 months, then you went away for a few weeks, and when you came back, you had an infestation of bed bugs.
Yeah, because they weren't only in my apartment, they were in the hallways.
Ah. So somebody must have moved in or something.
Yes.
So what's the landlord doing, if anything?
Nothing. Until I told them that I was going to contact you, they only came and sprayed it once. And from the one time that they came and sprayed it, which was about 2 weeks ago, they're still coming back through the sides of the walls. Because I've left my apartment to leave the heat on, because I've already done 2 treatments on it, and it doesn't seem like they're going away.
Yeah, but if you leave the heat on, you mean to try to kill them?
Yeah.
That's not going to work. The heat that kills bed bugs is extreme heat. Just leaving your heat on is not going to work. You need to have some... There are people who can get rid of bed bugs, but here's the problem. Even if you get rid of all of them, Hope, if they're in a neighbor's apartment, they're going to come back. The landlords has to do a complete treatment of the entire floor. I mean, it depends on where they're coming from. But, is Brandon... Siglian around. Hold on a second. Let's get our tenant-landlord attorney. I'm not sure if this falls under the Standard of Habitability Act or not. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Bob Logan, a question on furnaces. What's the difference between a 1-stage and a 2-stage? And if I have a 1-stage, does it pay to upgrade? What is the cutoff as far as years? This is an email.
Well, the cutoff as far as years can depend on usage.
Well,
And
what is normal? I mean, people say, well, it's 15 years, 20 years, 8 years. What is it?
The payoff is typically about 4 to 5 years on average.
Not payoff. I'm asking, how old does your furnace have to be for you to consider changing it?
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, on average, and again, this is national averages, 13 years. So,
but that's not for these good new ones, right? These good new ones ought to last 20.
Well, they should. Even the older ones should last 20 if they're maintained properly and installed properly. I can install the best furnace money can buy, but if it's not installed properly,
okay, so the average is
7 years.
So the average is 13. So if I have a single stage coming up on 10 to 13 years, I should consider.
Absolutely.
Now, and what's the benefit of what does it mean? Single stage, double stage. What is it?
So a single stage is basically it's on and it's off. So
okay.
Kind of picture you're in your car going from stoplight to stoplight,
okay,
and just hitting your gas pedal all the way to the floor.
All right.
You're going to burn a lot of gas,
and then
inefficient.
It gets up to temperature, turns off. It needs temperature, goes all the way, turns off.
Right, so it's either on or it's off.
Got it.
Two-stage will start by using about 60% of the energy to see if it can satisfy the temperature need, and if it doesn't, then it'll kick up to 100%. Then it'll drop down to 60%.
So it can
100%.
maintain better without using as much energy?
Right,
or
exactly. It'll maintain better.
Okay, maintain better. Is it energy savings?
It'll use less, yes, less energy, so it'll save you on your electrical and gas bill.
Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Listen, we got a lot to talk about today. And one of the things I hope you never need is a bankruptcy attorney. But if you do, winkandwink.com. Mike and Gigi Wink are good friends of the show. They've helped a lot of people with 7s or 13s. Those are Chapter 7, Chapter 13. Again, they also do debt counseling, and they can help you with debt settlement. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com.
Bed bugs. Eesh. I mean, isn't that a public health issue? Like, they can't.
We get that all the time. There's a company that sells bed bug heaters.
Ooh. How about the one that, how about that lady that walked into Georgia not long ago? It was an old man and threw the whole thing of bed bugs at him.
At the...
Live bed bugs.
Oh,
jeez. The county wouldn't come out and help him because his apartment complex had bed bugs. They said, listen, there's nothing we can do. So he literally collected a full cup, thousands of them.
Oh, my.
Walked in there and threw them all over the employees.
Oh, geez.
The cops couldn't find anything to charge him with either.
What are you talking about, Mark? What did he throw at him?
Bed bugs, live bed bugs.
Like a cup full of...
A big cup full of little bed bugs. All over the office, the carpet, and the people. God bless the man.
That's nasty. Yeah, it's nasty, but I can see where his frustration was stemming from. I mean,
the cops couldn't figure out what to charge him with at first.
Is this in Colorado?
No, it was either
Georgia
or North Carolina, one of these backwoods.
A couple years back, my buddy of mine has a house up in
Wisconsin,
and he hired somebody to go and do some remodeling. So he was staying at the house up there while he was doing the remodeling. Went out, got drunk, got thrown in jail for the night, came back, had got bed bugs on him in the cell.
And now they're in the house.
They had to burn everything.
All
their furniture.
My gosh.
So this, we're looking at new ovens. We've got an odd size, so I'm looking at stuff made in Europe, everything. It's just bizarre.
Sure.
So I find this one. Every review's great, but they only have 3.5 stars. There's only 6 reviews, but one is like a 1, which just offsets everything.
Sure.
So I read the one, and the lady was mad because it comes with a skewer that's part of this rotisserie unit inside this convection oven. So normal size, well, big oven, but there's a skewer that it's got a built-in rotisserie.
It's in there, yeah.
Which, personally, I wouldn't want in my oven, but anyhow. The skewer was so sharp she cut herself on it. In her entire review, she was pissed because no one put a warning label on the skewer. And I'm thinking, it's a skewer.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be sharp. But it's remarkable. She had nothing, that one thing that was her own fault made the oven at face value look like shit because of her one-star
review. Sure.
And I'm like, what happens if she bought a sword or a knife? She's going to be pissed they don't have a warning label on the knife. Be careful.
Use hot for McDonald's. If it was hot.
Well, they got $1 million.
What brand of oven? Is it a Gaggenau?
No, it was a, God, I'd never heard of it. It was a, let me see if I can find it. It started with a C. No, I've never heard of it.
You never heard of it,
What? This oven brand. So I was telling them, I'm reading a review. We've got strange ovens in our house, weird sizes, and Monogram no longer makes that size. So I found one as a replacement, okay? Different brand, never heard of it, made out of Italy or somewhere. Same exact size though. But one of the reviews, the lady was pissed that the skewer that comes with it, it's got a built-in rotisserie, was too sharp, and she cut herself, so she gives it a 1 star.
Which throws all the other reviews off and makes
because
it
there was only
like 5 or 6 reviews, so it brings the whole average down.
You know, Yelp, for some reason, chooses sometimes to withhold negatives and it's unusual to do commercials.
You mean based on like an algorithm?
I don't know.
People are always...
The old algorithm.
The old algorithm.
People come out of their shoes to write a negative review. It's harder to get people to write a positive review, even if they are pleased with the service or with the product.
But I have had they absolutely love for people.
I gotta find this stupid brand now for this review.
Bed bugs, 120 degrees, 2 to 4 hours to kill them.
Whether it's alcoholism
or
so there's no bed bugs in Phoenix, is there?
Probably not.
Are the biggest
they just open up the windows, huh? Of course, it doesn't get to 120.
And even marijuana has caused.
Oh, yeah, but not inside. Not inside a house, right?
In a car.
In a car.
You don't have AC running in a house. I bet 120 bakes it to $1.30.
You can buy the
so,
heaters
right?
for
Even
that.
if the outside temperature is literally 120, does it get that hot? It's 120.
Not all the time, but it's in the high teens quite a bit. Death Valley, isn't that in Arizona? Is it?
Yeah, my son was at 29 pounds a couple weeks back. And it was
in the military?
114, 116.
That's like Nevada too, man.
Yeah.
It's like a vacation area.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, let's find out what's on your mind. This is a consumer advocacy show where we solve problems, we answer questions, and we take complaints, and it's really important. I want to tell you, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center has helped me with my hearing loss. They also help people with tinnitus. They have various treatments. Dysynchra is only for those with certain tinnitus, but if you have that certain tinnitus, it is more or less permanent, this treatment. And even if it's not, you get to keep the treatment for later on if it ever comes back. But so far it's been staying away, in some cases, years, actually eradicating it. Now, 1, hearing loss, 2, tinnitus, or both, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa have been pioneering all manner of hearing problems. 303-534-0163, 534-0163, helpforringing.com. So what do you do with bed bugs? Do we have our attorney? Suzanne, is he available?
I'm still waiting to hear from him, Tom.
Here's the thing. I do believe landlords, under standards of habitability, are responsible for infestation of bugs. But to what degree, I don't know. And is it fair to expect them to do it all? I don't know. Should you do it and then only to have your efforts thwarted by dirty neighbors? What do you do in a case like this? You know, bed bugs, it's a major problem. I should say they're a major problem. It's not like this thing is going to go away. What would you do if your neighbors had bed bugs? Mark, what would you do? If you're in an apartment and your neighbors, or you don't even know if it's your neighbors, you just know no matter what you do, they keep coming back.
I would make their life miserable if I knew who it was.
You knew. But how do you know, this is the one thing about apartment and even condo living that is a little weird. Once you get them, unless you all cooperate, they're not going away. They're not.
It's like those kids with lice.
303-713-TALK. It is not. Michael, what's happening, Michael?
Yep.
What's going on?
Oh, man. Having a nightmare experience.
Why?
With the garage contractor. He's not responding to my texts and phone calls in the last week or so. I'm kind of assuming that he doesn't want to finish the job. We're right about ready for the final inspection.
Oh, no. So wait a minute. Did you pay the guy everything?
No, not everything. We paid him a deposit and then 40% and another 40. So we're looking at about 85, 90% so far. And
85 or 90% is done? How much is done?
I mean, most of the garage is done.
So is your payment at pace with the work done, is what I'm asking?
It is, but...
So you're not behind. I mean, what's good about this is, if you had to hire someone to finish and you don't pay him, you won't be out any money. That's what I'm trying to discern here.
Right.
Is that true?
Correct. We still owe him some money, so if we have to pay somebody else, yeah. I mean, technically we won't, but...
because the loss comes in when you have to pay someone else and it goes beyond what you thought you were going to spend. So, the contractor you've tried to get a hold of?
Yeah.
And how many times?
Oh, yeah. 2-3 times in the last week, and he's not returning phone calls or text messages. And he's usually been okay about returning.
And the work that's been done, has it been good?
Okay, at best. It's actually, I mean, we got paid. There's some real shoddy work. There's leaks in the vestibule.
Well, hold on. So are you telling me then, in addition to work he did not complete, there's work that has to be fixed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there needs to be. Yeah, we have a punch list that we gave him 3 weeks ago.
So if you take the punch list plus the stuff not done and you add them up.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be more than what we owe him.
How much more?
Probably a couple thousand.
Oh, man. What's the name of this contractor?
Landmark Garages.
How'd you find him?
Yelp, and actually a buddy recommended, but yeah, a friend of ours got work done by him. He said it was good because his was a pretty straightforward garage, but ours was a little difficult. We live on a corner.
Do you want to, Dan, do you want to try to call this guy?
My God, he's got a 1.5 rating.
I know.
1.5.
Awful.
Why? Promise to start. 3 weeks, no action, nothing done. The owner won't respond to me.
You know, here's worst. Let me just go worst case scenario. We'll try to light a fire. But again, if the guy's a deadbeat and he doesn't care, what's his name personally?
Merrill Miller.
Merrill. Okay. Now, if Merrill Miller does not come through, these Millers, you can't trust them. I'm just saying that because Dan's here.
That's right.
It's Dan Miller. So, Dan, why don't you call your brother and find out what the hell he's doing? No, but listen, let's do this. But here's worst case scenario. Let me get right to it, Michael. Worst case, just worst case. You hire people to complete the punch list and the job, and the difference, whatever that difference is above what you owe him, is your loss. You go after him in small claims court. You get a judgment, you do nothing with it. That's the worst case scenario. The best case is you do that, he finishes, or you do that and we collect it. Or I say we have ways and means and people who can collect for you on these judgments. Darlene, you have a question for Plumline? Go ahead, Darlene.
Hi, yeah. I live in the city, but not in the country. I used to live in the country where we had a well, and we used Ridex in the well and the plumbing. But in the city, do you need Ridex?
What is Ridex?
Well, Ridex is a name brand for, it's a product that's primarily used for septic tanks. And it adds a bacteria and enzyme.
Do you do it for wells, though? No. Did you ask for a well, or did you say
she said a well?
I live in the city, and I want to know if I could use it.
She used to have a well.
I understand that, but here's what I'm asking, Darlene. When you lived in the country, where did you use it?
Oh, you put it in your toilet and flush the toilet, and it goes down.
Okay, gotcha. No, you wouldn't do that in the city, would you?
Well, now, I don't know a whole lot about Ridex, but it's a similar product to something we use called BioClean. Ours is an all-natural bacteria and enzyme that you put in drains and your toilets.
What, periodically?
Periodically, yes.
To do what?
So what it does is it basically eats up the household waste that's in your pipes. And so the kitchen line is fantastic.
So if you have residual, it cleans them.
Right.
But how does it stay long enough in those pipes to clean? I mean, doesn't it just go right down the drain, so to speak?
Well, so You put it in a warm cup of water, you shake it up, it activates the enzymes, you pour it in there, and then it'll go to work.
It really works?
Yes, it's a great product. And now again, I don't know
what's
much
it called?
About Rid-X. What we use is called BioClean, and it's you get a pretty good size. It's a 2-pound jar for $50, and it lasts for a long time.
BioClean.
So I use it at my own house, but it's exceptional if you're on a septic system.
Yeah, and Rid-X, however, is only recommended for septics, as I see. Everyone that I see is only recommended for septics. So, Darlene, no, I wouldn't use it. And I definitely wouldn't use Drano, unless you had a clog.
Yeah, any kind of chemicals, harsh chemicals that you're putting down your drains is not a good thing.
But you might want to look into BioClean, so it's only available through professionals?
Yeah, you can go online. I mean, we're not a retailer.
It's more expensive
so
online.
If one of my techs can bring it out to your house, or if you're at a service call and you want to buy a jar, we can sell it to you. But we're not a retail outlet, so like you can't come to Plumline.
It's BioClean on eBay for 2 pounds is $60 or over.
Bob, do you guys still do that?
That's not bad.
93 or it's free for the drain cleaning?
We do. We're running a special right now, right? It's for a mainline clearing. $93. If we can't clear your main line, then the call is free. We do not charge.
Okay, now, if the call's free, will you tell them where the block is or give them an approximation since you're there?
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't see underground, but if we can't clear the line, then that means chances are you got a pretty good issue going on, and so we'll get one of our supervisors, one of our project supervisors who carry cameras on their trucks, and we'll run a camera down the line and identify what's happening, why we can't get.
Whoa! So worst scenario, they get a 100% free camera view and know exactly what's wrong with it.
No, is it?
Well, right, but
and an estimate to fix it if you can't do it for the 93.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. All right, Michael, you have more to say about Landmark Garages. Go ahead.
Well, just a couple of things. So we paid him $12,000 for concrete, and now we have a lien on our house for $4,200 from the concrete company because he didn't pay them.
Now this is serious stuff, man.
Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you.
This is serious. Now the lien, you have an affirmative defense against the lien.
Not if you didn't pay the guy in full.
I know. If you show you paid the contractor in full.
Oh yeah, we have a receipt for paying the contractor.
For the concrete. See, I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, Mark. I'm thinking, is it in full for the entire job, or is it in full for that particular thing?
Me too.
See, that I'm thinking, if you can, see, the lien laws say homeowners have an affirmative defense. They can get liens dropped off if, first, you have a written contract. Second, it's for your primary residence. And third, if you can prove you paid the contractor in full. But in this case, no, you didn't pay the contractor technically in full for the entire job, but you did pay him in full for that part. And that's what I would go with. I would simply go with that and let the concrete people fight that no.
Did they send you an intent to lien?
Did they send you an intent to lien?
Yeah, they did.
We need to go after Dan. We need to find this guy, Merrill Miller, Landmark Garages. Millers. Goodness gracious. We have more coming. Oh, wait, Robert. What is your question? I'll let Bob think about it during the break. What's your question, Robert?
I want to know, I received a flyer for an all-house cooling fan. It says it's better than air conditioning. I wonder what the Plumline man says. Well,
I'll tell you this. We'll talk about that. They're very good in some cases if you do them right. We'll talk about it coming right up.
Win your trip to our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
I love mine. We got a house, that whole house.
Wait. But you use it to pull up through the house, right?
Basement on
right.
House.
Yep.
If you have a cool basement.
We'll reinstall them, actually.
Okay, good.
I keep ours just because of my basement. I keep my fan all the time. It levels out. Not only does it level out the whole house, but it does bring that cool air up from the basement.
Right. Yeah, and after in the summer, after 9 p.m., we turn the AC off. Just because, sleeping in refrigerated air is kind of, I don't know, it's a little, reminds me of a hotel or something. You love it?
I crank my air conditioner all the time.
All the time.
What's wrong with your room?
So it's actually much harder on your system to turn it on and off.
and you'll know where you stand.
Because the first thing your air conditioner is going to do is try to remove humidity out of the air. So a lot of people will, they'll run it during the day and then they'll turn off at night and open their windows and they're just letting all that humidity back in. So their system's
overworked in that way.
They don't do any of those tricks. What they do is they'll help you assess the damage on your roof free of charge and with no obligation. They'll write up a full detailed contract.
Yeah, I'm just kind of spoiled.
They will help you through the claim. They will ask
I maintain my house all the time.
Is done.
Cool,
That's the way it's done. 303-761-6400.
Sure.
761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com.
Coloradans 62 and older, are you not feeling as financially secure as you'd like to? Is cash flow tight? Are you retiring or experiencing a life change? And do you own your own home? Then consider a reverse mortgage from American Financing. Reverse mortgages are loans that pay you monthly by using the equity in your home. They also protect your spouse from possibly losing your home if you pass away, and FHA ensures that you never owe more than your house is worth. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and here are the facts. You benefit immediately from no monthly mortgage payments, and you have access to tax-free money, all while owning your home. That's right.
God, the cell tower one's driving me nuts.
Equity when you need it most. With a reverse mortgage from American Financing, you can feel confident about living your golden years.
I got a friend who's actually in that business.
Mortgage consultants are salary-based.
So
there's so many. Then I even started thinking, what happens if there was no service there before, or so bad no one had that service? The new tower goes up, and 400 people sign up under a contract for new service. Now the tower's going to be torn down. What happens to all the people that were actually signed up as well? Who can they go after? I mean, I'm just all these different things it creates.
Tower, is it in a rural area or urban area?
I wasn't out there. Tom and Suzanne went out, and the pictures I saw, it's like a neighborhood kind of in the middle of nowhere, and then they just built this big fucking tower right in these people's backyard. They were supposed to get like 50 signatures or something along those lines.
No, they have to notify people within a 500 feet radius, and if 30% object, they can't do it.
Which they didn't do.
They
didn't even do that step.
No, they sent it to less than half.
Now, like every time the Franktown Water District thing comes up, people wanting to build out there, there's notices, it's all public. Douglas County, you can see who's coming up. So wouldn't that county, Weld County, have to say, hey, this is on the agenda for this day and time?
Yes, there is a public hearing.
And if they didn't show up to the public hearing, don't they have a little bit of...
No, because the public hearing isn't advertised.
Oh.
I mean, in other words, like a subdivision has these signs, as far as I can see from the ordinance, I see no notice in the requirement. Go look at it. But I don't see any notice of public hearing because it's not for the whole county. It's only for those people. Those people could show up because they would have been notified when it is. See, that's their notice for the public hearing. In other words, they would have to find out about the public hearing without getting that letter.
I just don't understand the ramifications because they fucked up. There's no doubt about it, right? So if the tower comes down, someone bought all that property, does that deal become undone?
No.
If I signed up for cell service, is that contract void now?
That property is owned by United Power. Verizon leases their sites usually. Or if they might buy a mark, but
yeah, but they usually lease it.
It's from United Power, so they would simply terminate.
So can United Power go after whatever they would have got paid on that 3-year contract? You know what I'm saying? I don't see the end of it. It's one of those things when you undo it. Where does it? Where do you say, okay, damages stop here?
Well, could United Power go after Verizon? No, for the price of the lease, yes.
For the whole thing.
I mean, the value, sure. If they depended on it, I guess they could. Hi, Tom Martino.
This Landmark Garages seems like a bad dude. This guy's going to have a lot of losses. This Merrill guy seems Merrill Miller.
Well, Dan talked to him.
Any relation, Dan?
It's a little odd.
Do you know him?
No, I don't. But I think he knows you. He said he was on the Tom Martino show before on a call.
On a good or bad one? Merrill Miller. I usually recall names and people, but tell me what's going on. What?
Just say it.
It's a little awkward. He says he won't come on because apparently you propositioned his wife on live radio.
His partner's wife.
Or his partner's wife.
Well, my God, I've heard it all now.
Well, I never do that, so...
Just when I thought I've heard it all.
I never do that, so it can't possibly be true. It doesn't matter. I mean, I just never do that.
What an odd thing to say,
Well,
Tom.
talk about grasping for straws.
I mean,
we've heard it all.
The guy, either he's lying or they're lying. I mean, that would be easy to prove. Just go pull a tape. I've never done that in my life. Even, by the way, off the air, I haven't done that. There's not one woman alive who could say that I came on to them ever. Not one, except the one I'm married to.
But do Millers lie?
So listen, where is this guy? Will he at least address the problem?
He said he was look it up, and I told him I'd call him back later. Then.
So Merrill Miller did not want to come on the air because he knows me, because a friend of his said I came on to his wife on the air.
No, he said he heard it. He said his former partner and stuff. You propositioned his wife.
What's their names? Come
on, you know it's all crap.
Well, of course it's crap.
He's just pulling stuff out. Why he'd pull something out that stupid is beyond me.
One thing I can tell you, I am so 100% positive there's not a woman alive that could say I was inappropriate or came on to them or did not treat them with respect, because that's just not my DNA. So that can't happen.
Maybe it was one day when you were off and Mark was running the show.
Yeah. Oh. Score one for Plumline. Okay. Now, here's the deal, though. I think that he should put up or shut up if he's going to make an accusation like that. Let's call his friend. Let's do it. By the way, listen, I would watch out for Merrill Miller and Landmark Garages, because he's a liar. We know that for sure now. He's a liar. So if he lies in little, he'll probably lie in much. Now, Dan, what did he say he's going to do?
He said he's going to. He didn't know the whole situation, so he's going to look it up.
Landmark Garages, by the way, you're now on the crap list, and I'm warning everyone about you. In fact, he's going on the Sleaze Brigade, sleazebrigade.com, because the man publicly he's a liar, and that's it. He's a liar. I am actually making an accusation to Merrill. You are a liar. So take that to your attorney. I called you a liar. Yes. What's going on, Suzanne? You want something? Suzanne? Somebody? Okay. So Merrill Miller is a liar. He runs Landmark Garages. In my opinion, you should not use him nor trust him, because he's a liar. Okay. 303-713-TALK. Okay. Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Yes, Mr. Martino, you have propositioned me numerous times, one time at the Burger King.
What? At the Burger? I don't go to Burger King.
Well, and another time over the air. I find this hospitable and ridiculous.
Hospitable's the wrong word. So this must be Mark Major, because if he's the only one.
Like
Oh God, I can hardly take it. 303-713-8255. Sarah, you have a plumbing issue?
I do.
What's going on?
I live in a log home.
Yeah.
I'm on a septic tank. I have 2 bathrooms. And about 2 weeks ago, just very suddenly, I quit getting pressure at the master bathroom sink only, and then at my washing machine, cold water only.
Huh? So you stopped getting pressure only in the cold water of the washer?
Correct.
But everywhere else, the 2 baths and the kitchen, they all work fine?
Except for the one master bath sink. The shower works fine. The sink is low pressure. And it just happened suddenly.
Are they on the same? Well, okay. Do you know how it's plumbed?
I don't.
Bob, often with a washer, it could be the little screen in the back of that washer.
That's the only thing I can think of, Tom. And I'm not a plumber myself.
Yeah, but you know enough about it.
Right. I think chances are you got some sediment in there somehow, and it clogged the screens, and so
that can be a massive problem. Just tiny sediment in the washer, especially behind. If you turn off the water and disconnect those hoses and look at the screen, man, that's a tiny little screen that can really block water.
Yeah, when Tom says massive problem, it's actually a very easy fix. And
yes, but it manifests like a major problem is what I meant. It can really shut down water, and you'll think, man, what's going on? So check that for sure, and then I would check the aerator on that one bathroom.
On the other sink
yeah,
too?
I would start there.
Especially if you're on a well. You're on a well, right?
Oh, and I do my kitchen sink. I do regularly, and I get pebbles.
Yep, that's what
I didn't think about that.
I can almost assure you that's probably what it is. It's and let us know. What's going on with Arthur? Arthur, what's happening?
Hi. What's happening is we have an HOA, and our stairs are completely falling apart. I am disabled. I'm on SSDI. Kay, who I live with, she's been living here for 21 years. This guy, Frank Madrid, who runs the HOA or owns it for Summit Management.
He doesn't own it.
Sorry?
No one owns the HOA. It belongs
Whatever.
to... Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I didn't think so either.
Hey, Arthur, what's the name of your project?
Our stairs are falling apart.
What's the name of the project? What's the name of your condo development?
Okay, Crown Point. Crown Point.
Crown Point, and most people own there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and as far as Crown Point, is there a management company?
Yes.
And who is that?
Summit Management, and they're over on Yosemite in Greenwood Village.
Have you ever talked to them directly?
I talked to them this morning. I talked to them many times.
What do they say?
Do it last summer, didn't. Our gutters, we could not get into
Now,
our
Arthur,
house.
is this just your staircase to your place, or is it common?
Ours. Our house.
So, well,
separating from the building.
Okay, are these townhomes?
Yes.
Okay. And so that is definitely the homeowner's responsibility, the HOA?
Yes. Yes.
Can you send us a picture of it?
Let me go on. One more.
Yeah.
The gutters. Completely clogged, and I mean really clogged to the point where the downspout is now spitting water out the side. We could not get into our house yesterday because water came off our roof like a waterfall, ran down the stairs like a waterfall, so we get wet up to our ankles going up the stairs and drenched from the roof.
Yeah, we need some photographs. And listen, we'll call the management company for you. We will, or we'll release the woodpecker on them. We have a secret weapon. And if we release the woodpecker, man, I promise you.
It's all over from there, Tom.
It's all over. That HOA, she'll wear them down. That's Deputy Daff. So, seriously, Arthur, send us some photographs. 303-713-8255. We got a lot more going on. Joseph A. Lazara is an attorney. I hope you never need. You hear me talking about my clients. I hope you don't need this. I hope you don't need that. Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. Of course, it would be best if you never have to see him. Some people just drink and drive. They think they can beat the system, or they're not drunk, or they're not under the influence. It's especially happening with marijuana. Well, listen, there's plenty of alternatives right now. First of all, designated driver, or Lyft, or Uber, or taxis, if you still want to take those dinosaurs. But give them a call. If you make a mistake, if you did something stupid, whatever it is, guilty or innocent, you need someone to help you through this process. You'll never do it alone, not the right way. 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Lazara, that's 2 Z's and 1 R, LazaraLegal.com.
Oh, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do it. I'm sorry.
Clear out a crash on the south.
We'll do it right in
the spillway. Still seeing some heavy traffic along that stretch. Also, some slow speeds on the westbound side of 6th Avenue. This stop at
2 people accused Tom now.
Federal North.
Oh, yes, Sarah.
No, it's Sarah calling.
What happened? Yeah, what happened? When he said I find it very hostile,
That's classic.
The floodgates are open.
I actually didn't know it was Mark. I knew it was somebody fooling around, but I really did not know it was you until you said, I don't know if it was him. I said, okay, there's Mark.
I find it hospitable,
Hospitable.
You should have used it.
Outrageous? So this guy said I came on to his friend's wife on the air.
His partner's wife on the air. He said he heard it.
Hey, baby, what are you doing
How do
later?
you even do that? Yeah. How do you even do that?
You said it under your breath.
Huh?
You guys want some coffee?
No. How do you do that, though, on the air?
Yep.
Do you like
I'd love a cup of coffee, Two?
Thanks.
You want some?
Yes, here, come down so much. You bet, yeah.
And then sugar, Bob, is right there. Black. And if there's not one there, I'll grab one.
Sugar bomb.
If he takes the case, it's only
Is there sugar there?
and it's a small
No, I'll get it.
Yeah, there is. I got one.
I'll call him up after the show and see if he's got it all.
If someone is
Hi, I'd like to talk to
Oh, excuse me.
someone competent like John Fuller.
Let's just answer before you leave. Let's do this whole house one. I've got a free.
303-597-4500.
So what the heck?
500 on my referral list at referrallist.com.
I'm waiting for CNN to say. He hasn't apologized properly yet.
It wasn't
Other than Miller accusing me of being a cad, how was he addressing this?
Oh no, he said he would look it up and do it. He said he didn't have the stuff.
But he's not coming
The
on
guy's
there
probably got
because-
two jobs.
That's
He's
why
gonna
he
look it
wouldn't
up.
come on the air.
Because I propositioned his partner's wife on the air. You cad.
And he didn't know if you're going to proposition him.
What happened?
Hi, baby. What are you doing?
Nothing.
No MI. Looking at buying that new home, paperless loan.
I said, what?
That was not, I mean, it just would never.
That's what I'm saying. It was like,
I've never done it in
I
my
couldn't have
life.
made something up that fucking funny. That was pretty good. Well, the reason I won't come on is because one time, Tom hit on my friend's wife on the radio.
So Bob came up and said maybe Mark had it that day. He was feeling confused.
I totally spaced it, too. When I was in there, I should have said, well, Tom's never done anything but that.
Now that I'm a client of Downtown Healthcare, I don't have to do just that. Downtown's Healthcare is a proud leader in integrated physical medicine, and with their regenerative medicine program, I am all in, doing just what I suggest you do to get back to a more active life.
I don't even know how it happened. Like, she called in and I said, hey, baby, what are you doing?
What are you doing later after the show? Hey, I want to make you a common woman, wink, wink. There's nothing common
I
about
just wanted to give you a heads up on line 1. Adult Protective Services told her to call us.
Everything
Okay.
and holds the elevator door.
Did he leave? This guy
I think he just went to the restroom.
Yeah, I hope so.
Around the city should have the opportunity to
Like you said, because it's still warm.
Open.com American Express Open can help with money and know-how so you can get business done. Not even elevator guy can stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been a little uncomfortable.
One time, she said the phone's sitting there. That reminds me of the time there was a convertible down in Catskill, New York, parked there on one of the side streets, and the guy had a camera on the seat. My friends took the camera. We were 9 or 10. And took pictures naked of every part of it and put the camera back. Can you? This is in the old days when you had cameras developed.
So then it's sitting at a Walgreens somewhere.
Well, I don't even know if Walgreens was around then. This was
The
like,
photo mats.
This was in the 60s. Could you imagine this guy getting, sir, come with us, please?
My friend was after a lady
We were little boys, I swear. They did it to be fun.
And he took a picture.
Oh yeah, that would land him in prison time now.
I mean,
He might be in prison
I
now.
forgot about that.
He might have served his
Oh
life.
my God.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on iHeartRadio, the famous app, and downloaded on iTunes. We are all over the place. Also, KHOW, of course, and KRDO in the Springs, and we have other wonderful affiliates. Give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Whole House fans, we were going to talk about, and we got sidetracked. So, Bob, when do you think they're appropriate?
Well, they got a lot of usage. I don't have one myself. I think they're actually a great product. We actually install quite a few of them.
Now, you install them in the uppermost floor, right?
Yeah, so basically it really helps during the summer to pull the heat out of the attic, but it also
Now wait, what do you mean pull the heat out of the attic?
well, it's basically pushing the heat from the attic out of the house, and so it'll take everything from the bottom level up through the house pull it up, and then push it out of the house.
Okay, and then you have to have your attic properly vented, of course, either ridge vents or other vents, and
Correct.
Good roofers know that.
Yes.
Okay, so in the winter, you can actually use that heated air, right? Or not? Do you not do that? Do you never have it pushing? Do you ever have it pulling hot air from the attic? Dan, do you? And you're...
Oh, in fact, I don't think in the winter it'd be that warm up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend.
You're right. It probably would
during the winter.
Okay, so in the summer you pull the cool air from lower levels. So really, the time when you get the most benefit is when you have a lower level that's cool.
Right, and so and maybe if you have an older air conditioning system or your house just isn't. The ductwork wasn't designed properly, and you just can't get it to cool properly. It could help in that case, pull some of that hot air through.
It would definitely help. Would you run a whole house fan while the air conditioner's on?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
No, because I would want that air recirculating, because that's also going to help the filter.
And I think no matter what people say, first, air conditioning, second, swamp cooler, third, whole house fan. That's my opinion. I don't think...
I'm not a huge fan of swamp coolers.
When people say swamp coolers are as good as air, they aren't.
Oh, absolutely not.
But maybe a house fan would be better than swamp. I don't know. It depends. You have to have a lower level. If you have just ground level, I wouldn't get a whole house fan. Would you?
Well, you mean like a ranch?
No,
like a ranch on slab?
If you didn't have, if you had a crawl space, not a basement, I would only get it if I had a cool basement to draw from. But no, you're saying it's...
No, because it'll pull all the air from your home, so it'll just even out the temperature.
Okay, so you're saying
all the heat from your home and push it up through the attic.
Okay, now Jay Bretz swears by an attic fan, meaning on the roof pulling hot air out, and he has one. I love this product he has. I've never seen another one. It's solar powered, thermostatically controlled, but you don't set it. You just put it in the attic and forget about it. On the roof. So it literally is powered by the sun. There's no wiring to do. You pop it in and forget about it, and it'll run when you need it, and when you don't need it, it won't run. I love that idea.
Right, so he's basically just using that for his attic, correct?
Yeah, that's all. Out of the attic. Yeah, it's not for the house at all. The whole house fan goes in the ceiling. This goes on the actual roof. But both wouldn't be a bad idea. But I definitely, these roof fans, these attic fans, they definitely keep the convective currents going in the attic, because if that attic overheats, Bob, it fights against your air conditioning.
It absolutely does. And once it heats up, especially in the dead of summer, it's hard to get that. Years ago,
I've known Jeff Belk for years and years, and I think he personally might have done this. I had a house I couldn't get cool. It just couldn't get it cool. And he said, well, that's easy. Your attic isn't vented. For some reason, it wasn't properly vented. We put a ridge vent on. He didn't do it, but he just said, you don't have anything wrong with your air conditioning. We put a ridge vent on that you would have thought that I bought a new air conditioning system.
It's amazing.
You would have thought I doubled my air conditioner.
And I bet your electric bill dropped.
Oh, it did. It did, and it was that easy, is to just know about attics being vented, people. You got to do that. And there's another common mistake with furnaces, return air.
Yes.
That means you got to have enough return air, and don't block it with furniture.
Don't block it with furniture, and we can actually add return air if you don't have enough.
You should add return air. Probably, I would say 90% of all cases, you don't have enough. The more return air, the more efficient. And they're the lower registers. They're lower. They don't blow. They take in. And I'm telling you, if you have one, get furniture away from it. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Plumline Services, by the way, plumlineservices.com. Save all your problems for me.
Ideal Home Loans is a program they can
a lot of good information. I'll tell you, man, the return air is a big problem. You know this one company that was advertising, we'll boost the efficiency, blah, 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 for less than this much money. All they were doing is going and adding a return duct. One. And that was it. That's it. And you know what? It did increase their heating.
Furnaces will actually shut off if they don't get enough return air.
But you know how many people don't know the importance of it, and they block them?
Or like you say, they put furniture in front of it. Because it's right there, and then they don't
even realize what it is.
Right.
So you shove a couch in front of it.
But why are they so underutilized return air? Why do contractors, or why do they do that?
Well, it's typically your older homes that Well, like I didn't grow up with air conditioner in Colorado. Most of the older homes weren't designed for air conditioning. That's the problem.
But doesn't it even help with heat? Not so much, because heat rises, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're still circulating the air through it, but it doesn't, the furnace doesn't rely on it as much. Now, if you don't have enough return air, it will overheat your furnace, because it helps keep the motor and blower cool.
He finally condemned him.
He's condemned him since Saturday.
So, I'm going to be blazing here.
Okay.
Should I just leave, or?
Oh, if you have to leave, yeah. Yeah, and then we'll just...
I'm so excited. I put on Facebook about the calculator. Brendan Kugel has 2 we can have. Allie, the intern, says Allie can have hers.
Oh, cool. Let's plan a couple weeks. Very cool. All right.
Bought our daughter a graphing calculator last year. She loses it.
Or she pawned it.
Or she pawned it. Had better things to buy, like eyelash extensions or something, you know?
Sure.
Are you leaving now?
Yes.
Okay.
Good seeing you,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's fine. Are you logged into anything personal?
No.
Okay, I'll walk you to the elevator then.
Okay. You don't have to if you're busy.
Oh, I was heading that way anyway. This is all good.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Have a good one, Bob.
If you would like to sit in, or you can stay there if you want.
This is fine. Nice to see you. Yep.
Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 85. Wednesday, partly sunny and a high.
See, I don't know why the cops didn't shut down that riot, man.
Yeah, the Charlottesville.
I'm just reading this right now. It's like, it was so stupid. The governor actually basically said, hey, don't, let them do it. These guys, these freaking prejudiced assholes show up armed to the gill.
Right.
They're slinging sidearms. They're asking.
They're all carrying. Yeah,
asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And the governor says, back off, let them do their thing. And it's like, so much for that. So now this lady's dead because of his decision. And I know, Dan, you're already going, no.
No, I don't even know. I didn't even...
It's the same goes for these, the Black Lives Matter rallies. I mean, shit, they're setting shit on fire, not one person gets arrested? How do these governors and mayors let shit like this go down?
Look at what they have speakers at Berkeley.
Yeah.
They're on fire.
And they did.
At the college.
At the college. Yeah.
And not one person, they had them all on video, too. So these guys are all assholes. These mayors and governors are assholes.
They are.
So what are they saying about him now, I wonder, at CNN?
Same thing you just said. They're acting like he finally did it.
Well, yeah, on the first
CNN was literally, they were literally coming out in their news stories condemning him. I mean, it was like...
Trump names the racists. Finally. That's exactly what they did.
And CNN has never told everything fake before.
Oh, no, of course.
Trump's first day as president was Saturday. Talking about hate on all sides. I know what he was saying. He wasn't saying that the other hate is equal. He was just saying hate from all sides, any side is bad. And they thought he was calling the supremacist the same as the anti. I don't think he was.
I don't think so either. You got to have a special ear to hear it that way.
No kidding.
Because everybody else heard it different.
They always look for ways to listen to hear him.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a fair shake, I swear. Although he doesn't do himself any favors.
You're right. I agree with that too. I mean,
you can't argue with the stock market, though, baby.
What is that? I guess it is a lot of it.
Hello! Tom Martino here, and I welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I like to pick a sponsor off the top and say, brought to you by. Let's say, who should we say that today? How about Stem Cell Institute of America with their seminars, okay? Because I'll tell you what, I like the model. If you want stem cell therapy, you don't have to go and make an appointment right away. Go to a seminar. It's free of charge. And then get all the information you need. All right? That's Stem Cell Institute of America. Then you decide what you want to do. Denver, Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, Fort Collins, and other areas. I'm sure they've given these seminars and people have gone out and gotten stem cells somewhere else. But they don't care. What they care about is giving you the proper information. They hope you come to a clinic associated with Stem Cell Institute of America for their high-quality stem cells and their high-quality docs. But here's the deal. All they ask is that you reserve a seat. 855-262-4040, 855-262-4040. Today, we have a guest with us. Now, Plumbline Services was here for the first 2 hours. They had to leave. Thanks, Bob, for being here. And by the way, Christian Renger is with us. He is a common man, we call him. And, of course, you know what the requirement is for a common man? You have to be a long-time listener. You have to love and adore me, and that's it. Then you get to come in. We should have bought him lunch. That's one thing we missed.
Did you proposition him?
No. Mark is asking if I proposition him because a guy accused me of propositioning his partner's wife and that's why he said he wouldn't come on the phone.
Over the air, of course.
Yeah, over the air. On the air, he actually said that. Did he say on the air, or did he say I did it? Oh, no, because he said he heard it.
Right, that's why he wouldn't come on, just because he said on the air.
So beware of this guy, Landmark Garages. If he's going to lie about something so silly, who knows what he's going to do. And this guy, first of all, he can't finish. He's not finishing this job. He hasn't paid for the concrete. He has a punch list. He hasn't finished the job, and yet it's Merrill Miller, Landmark Garages. Beware of this clown.
What number do you got for him?
What number do you have for him? I want to make sure if they see this number on Craigslist or something, they avoid it. Because in my opinion, this guy should not be trusted, especially if he's going to lie. Yes.
So what I have is 303-944-4091. And Tom, just so you know, he did not get the customer info from Dan, which I thought was a little odd, but he did just call me back and say, can I get all the info for the customer to look into it?
Good. That's very nice of him to want to look into it. Okay. And then Merrill Miller, if you're listening, what you need to do is you need to stop these stupid accusations. I'm not coming on the air because I heard Tom Martino come on to my partner's wife on the air, and and so here's the deal. You're a liar. Okay? Now call me and prove me wrong. You're a liar. We have copies of almost every show. Did he say when it was?
No.
It's so
several years ago.
Oh,
here's his real deal. Every single review I read on this guy is basically like this. They will do very minimal amount of work, they'll get paid, then they'll stop communications and never finish. Every review that I have seen so far is just like that. So how can anyone
call Landmark Garages? That is landmark failure. Landmark Garages, landmark failure. That's what it is. Unbelievable. Okay, our common man today. So, Christian, what do you think so far? You haven't said a word, man. We want you to chime in. Mark said in the beginning, make sure you chime in. Go ahead.
I'm thrilled to
you having fun?
Yes, I am. I'm having a great time.
He's speechless.
Now, you called the show about I-25 roofing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, this is how we got into this exchange.
Tom, he had just challenged you that it's sometimes, I guess, you weren't fair or something like that, Christian. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, it was, it was a woman who called in and was...
Was it I-25 roofing?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, because that guy...
Was he a real bad actor after all?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Okay.
This is the guy suing that woman. Remember, he's countersuing her.
Oh, my God, what a scumbag.
He is a scumbag.
Oh, my God, I went over to look at this. Let me tell you how bad it was. He didn't even have, what was he missing? Dan, it was incredible.
He only put on half the decking, the new decking.
He had shingles with no decking.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And he put the
he took siding
from the rear and put it to the front.
He literally took siding from under the eave
plumbing
and put it somewhere else.
He took the copper out of the house.
All the fixtures.
He rented the place to one of his workers.
Right. Oh, and I met the worker that he actually rented it to while she was in Mexico.
Now hold on, though. But hold on.
And this is the guy he likes, Tom.
Christian did, Christian did have a good point, and here's what his point was, as I remember. Sometimes when the caller calls, I go off on the guys or the contractor or the other person without really knowing all the facts. Isn't that what you were saying?
That was exactly the point. I was in between appointments.
And I told you that most of the time, we do have more information than we put on the air. But there are times I don't believe the caller, and I say, well, let's wait and see. And then other times I say, wow, this guy, but here's what now listen carefully. I'll say, this guy, I say this. But even in those times, I say, this guy sounds like a real scumbag. I don't say, this guy is a real scumbag.
Or in my opinion.
That's right. You'll hear words like, this guy sounds like this, or in my opinion, blah, blah, blah. Or I say, and if what you're saying is true, then this guy is a scumbag. You'll hear qualifiers. Why? Because after years and years and years of being in court, I know what I can say and what I can't say.
Sure.
By the way, though, do you get the impression, seriously, and I don't care, I mean, you're here, we're having fun, did you get the impression that I do truly take a stand without knowing all the facts? Do you get that impression?
I don't have that impression about you. Like I said,
no, but I mean,
for a long time, and I mean, I don't think that.
I think Mark's more guilty of that than me.
Say what?
Mark gets a
Suzanne,
gut
call
feeling.
security.
He gets a gut feeling, comes right out with it. Because, you know, this guy, I'm sorry, this guy doesn't sound that. He uses the qualifiers, too. But I think he's way quicker to judge than I am.
No way. What have I been wrong about?
Mark's judgmental.
Well, I don't know if you've been
And
wrong
a bit
or not.
crass.
Well, no, there you go. Where have I been wrong?
It's not a matter of right or wrong. I just mean you're quick to judge.
Give me one example.
I don't know.
Of course you don't.
Quick to judge?
Yeah, one example. Here, common man, give me one.
Well, I don't have one at the tip of my tongue. I don't. Let's go to the phones. Hey, we got a couple lines open. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And so, Judy?
Yes, I'm here.
What's happening?
I work at a body shop, BJ's Auto Theft and Repair.
Mm-hmm.
I have a uniform company, UniFirst, and it's brand new, and we got them in October, and they started billing us in January.
I used to use them.
Oh, they're terrible. Their customers.
Are they terrible, Mark, in your opinion?
I mean, they're a big uniform company.
So what's the problem with them?
Customer service is terrible. We would call and say our production manager...
No, wait a minute. I want to ask you something, Judy, just in fun, by the way. This is just... What moron names his company? Listen to this. BJ's Auto Theft and Collision Specialist.
You guys steal cars and wreck them?
Sure. So we started out as 28 years ago doing just theft repair, and then we went into...
But that's weird the way that's worded. Okay, I understand
That's right up there with Ouch Dental.
BJ's Auto Theft and Collision Specialist. So okay, I get what you're saying. By the way, how long you been in business?
28 years.
Must be doing something right.
We are, sir.
So how do we help you? What do you need?
Well, we canceled the contract the end of April because we had no customer service. They would never call us back on any complaints.
Generally, there's a term. Was that inside the term?
Actually, it's under the performance guarantee, guaranteeing high quality service at all times.
Gotcha.
We called, we left messages. I talked to the secretary. You know, my production manager needed shirts. He never got them. We'd call about a complaint on the bill because they would charge us for the tags, and, you know, we never paid for tags before. And then we would call them about other issues. We'd miss a pair of pants, or we'd miss a...
It's going to cost you a fortune to get out of this. You realize that, because they're going to make you buy pretty much the uniforms.
Yeah, well, actually, we have an insurance policy that covers the uniforms if they're ruined. And there's nothing in the contract that says we have to buy the uniforms. And they did send us a premature cancellation, and their figures are off because they were only supposed to go back 26 weeks. They went further. Plus, they charged us for the uniforms. I have every single one of the uniforms they never picked up. Plus, they charged us a late fee because they lost a check, and it took them 3...
Well, how did they lose that check?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, really, technically, late fees are hard to dispute if you sent a check, because I know it's crazy, but unless you can prove when it was post-dated or anything like that, but that's a minor thing compared to everything else you're complaining about.
I mean, do have proof on the check.
Okay, so on this whole deal, where do they stand right now? What can we do? Where does it stand?
I just want to get out of the contract.
Okay.
I want...
Are they embroidered?
No.
Mark?
No, they're...
These are really tough, because what happens
They can't
is,
just get out of a contract.
I know, they come out, they size them, they put, you know, either they stitch something on, they embroider them, they have hard cost in these. They're tough to get out of.
I mean, there must be a cancellation of some kind in there.
Have you tried to work with them and say, hey, how about a credit for some of these bad issues and let's move on and get to the end of the contract?
They won't call me back.
Okay, Mark, do you think you can reach out to them because you have used them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody there anymore, but sure.
I mean
they're a big
comments. Oh, so they're like, is she like just a little cog in something in this big giant machine?
Oh, absolutely.
But shouldn't they? She's pissed off. They're not talking to her. Listen, you need some kind of uniform company. If we can make this work, I'm not saying you have to. I mean, goodness gracious, it does sound like you've been mistreated, but you're in a contract, and unless you get out of it according to the contract,
did you already get a new uniform company?
No, not yet.
Okay.
All right, hold on a second. Get her information, Suzanne, or at least, where we can get her back. Do we have that? Okay, Sean, you say you know when Mark's been wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, one day you were on vacation and he was getting all over Slaughter Roofing, and I used to deliver roof shingles to them guys, and I knew they were outstanding.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were real quick to judge.
I don't care. The guy
Slaughter.
was being... Okay, listen, is that the one
In fact,
I talked to him the next day? I had him on the next day, Sean.
In fact, I thought that was weird, too. Like, Mark was in a bad mood that day because he said, wait a minute, do you sense like he's being a wise ass or some or wise guy? You remember that, Suzanne?
But what was I wrong about?
You were just quick
I
to
don't know the
judge to
problem.
begin with.
No,
is
the
what
guy
Sean's
was being...
saying.
I don't know
listen,
the problem.
afterwards, and looking back on it, the guy at Slaughter's a good guy. I think it was Mike Slaughter. But when he came on, he had an attitude, and I called him out on it.
Oh, fun.
Oh, well.
Well, that's how it was.
303-713-TALK. Sean, thank you. Anyone else who would like to comment on when Mark's been wrong?
Oh, my God.
I'm just...
What about on a personal level?
Or anyone who's heard me come on to a woman on the air.
I told you I had.
Yeah, I know. 303-713-8255. We got a lot going on today. All right? All right, let's talk about ideal home loans. You know what I like to say? For your next ideal home loan. And one of the hallmarks, I think, of a good company is when they put you in a better position than you were in. And they do that with their interest rate guarantee. I like when they can get rid of your mortgage insurance, especially. You know, about 33% of homeowners don't even know their current rate. They don't know what their equity is, or they don't know what the guidelines are for private mortgage insurance. If you have PMI, that could save you, that's costing you about $200, maybe more or a little less. You can get rid of it if you have more equity than when you started. All of these things can be done through Ideal Home Loans. Just ask for enhancement, and they'll give it to you. In fact, they do it automatically. They will help you even with your credit when you don't even need help. Meaning, you can be approved, but there are other things you can do to actually improve more, to get better pricing. They'll do that too. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Now, when you're talking about a loan, you're probably looking at a home, right? If you have a home, then you don't have to worry about it unless you're going to sell it. If you're looking to buy, looking to sell, no matter what you're looking to do, when it comes to real estate, you will find no one better than Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. I love Frank personally. I'm telling you, he's a great guy. No, I'm not coming on to him. I'm just saying he's good. He's good in real estate. He actually has stats that show he can sell faster and for more than the average every time. And you will love the way he treats you. He will always let you out of a contract because he knows he has to earn your trust in your business, and he never holds people to a contract. But you know what? People stay with him because they love him too. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
This report is brought to you by Life. A couple of crashes and a couple of stalls to watch out for.
Still working on that stubborn wreck southbound 225.
We have fun.
You know, the I-25 was the first time I've seen it where she understated how bad it was.
Oh my God!
This was a shack. A shack.
So, and when she called though, it just, to me, it sounded so bad, like she was just making shit up. You know what I mean? Like it was.
He literally. So the insurance company was going to pay for siding on one side of the house. Okay, because that's the only place they held it. They literally took it under the eave from the backside and put it on the fucking side.
And removed it off
And removed it off the back.
I mean, now you can just tell
They
it
moved
went
the bad stuff to the back.
Oh my.
They moved the
Oh, well, I
stuff
see.
to the
I
back.
see. But still, what an egregious. I mean, that's
And
outrageous.
That's outrageous.
Outrageous. Wow.
Yeah,
It was
and
on
moved
the
somebody
floor.
in, took out a sink, took out the light.
And we met the guy that lived there.
This guy, the guy that they were.
Dan and I were just sitting there like, oh,
It was, to call it a shack.
Yeah.
I was calling it good what he left.
No, I've seen places. Oh, it's hard to beat how bad this place was.
Cash. 3 days of Breckenridge for a new.
Now, she's crazy, too. She's got the homeless guy that he had living there as a tenant fixing her
Oh, you
place
didn't
up
hear the
now.
rest of it. It happened to this.
So, the whole thing is insane. But he took the money for the roof and did not do the roof, and took the money for the siding, did not do the siding.
So she-
He completely and utterly
She
screwed
just
him.
took down payment, and
Oh,
then
that's right.
she withheld the insurance money from you. There's nothing you haven't heard
What a
of.
mess.
So the guy got in jail, the homeless guy that was fixing on it.
He was.
He got so
He went to jail.
for
what?
Imagine that. It's unbelievable.
Somebody else moved in there. Somebody else moved in there, and they won't get out.
So now she's got a squatter?
Yes.
I don't know if you had. I'm a kitchen guy, so I'm a kitchen designer. I work for a cabinet company, and you know, custom kitchens and custom cabinetry. It's up in Loveland. I'm a designer, and we have. I did CAD design, and it's a fun business to be in. We do cool stuff. I mean, it's custom. I mean, it's higher end stuff.
I have a high-end kitchen. I've had several over the years. I have one now that astounds me, and here's why. You know the new look with the big, giant, tall cabinets up high?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody can get to them. I literally, no one, and I just don't
Sure.
make. They make them. I mean,
They're
and they're
10
beautiful.
feet up, yeah.
They start this high. They start right here.
Oh, wow.
They start and go up. It's giant towers. Now the bases are normal, granite, beautiful.
Or you need a ladder to get up there.
I'm trying to find a photo if I haven't. But,
Ours are extremely high, too.
You can't reach our top shelves. In the kitchen, Mark, I can't, honest to God, I can't reach the lower shelves.
Well, that's too high.
I have a rolling, well, you know what?
But it looks good, I
This
bet.
entire project is like, you saw.
I'm sure you got 10 foot.
(303-713-TALK), 303-713-8255. Okay. Now, tell us about this follow-up, Suzanne, on line 2. Do you know about it?
Well, I know this, that it came in while Mark and I were out of town, and he says it was community pipes that busted. He was having a hard time with the HOA paying it.
That's right.
He has an update for you,
Good.
something like that, Tom.
Mark, yeah. I remember
Tom,
some of
how
this.
you doing?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I, loyal listener to your show, did everything I did, gave the insurance people a copy of the contract on the house.
Right.
That never was in there, like you told me, and like you said. And then the insurance.
Which part? Now, what do you mean a copy of the contract?
Well, they wanted to see the HOA bylaws,
right?
Everything.
Yeah.
And so I gave them all that, and it was never, like you said, if there was a defective pipes in the building, prior to my knowledge, they were supposed to disclose it, and it wasn't there, Tom.
That's right. We had a non-disclosure issue, and
exactly.
And those pipes that broke were part of your unit and of the others, right? And part of a previous settlement, and it was never disclosed to you. The apartment house, or not the apartment, the condo development won a settlement, and the individual owners at that time were cut checks. But when they went to sell it, they did not do the repairs, nor did they tell you. So what happened?
Well, the insurance company flat out said, well, we're going to kick it to the property management company and HOA, because they even said, you have no access to pipes. If if you and I were neighbors, Tom, and if you live below me and I'm above you, I don't have access to your pipes. And that's been the argument. And the insurance adjuster sent an inspector out and said, it's not yours, Mark. Because how the heck are you supposed to know, Tom, right?
Right. So what happened? Anything yet?
Well, the insurance is going to, do their thing, but then they're going to start kicking stuff to the property management and HOA.
Good, but they'll cover it for you, right?
Yeah, everything's covered. they said they're going to kick a lot of the damages because it wasn't disclosed to the property management company.
All right. Absolutely wonderful. I'm glad.
And I have a quick question for you, Tom. Now, since loyal listener to the Troubleshooter and follow your advice, can the HOA give me a hard time because I stuck it to them?
How would they give you a hard time? I mean, you're only enforcing what's there, man.
Exactly, but you know how
now,
HOAs can be.
What do you think they would do, though? Like, give me an idea of what you think they might do.
Rough them up.
Just follow the rules.
Mark, I don't think... Are they going to be laying low for you? Who knows? If you have a manager there that doesn't like you. But I think, on the whole, no. Because you're
I had my guns on this one. I really did, Tom.
Yeah, and you know what? And you have to, because it was a lot of money. And, Mark, I wasn't sure if it was non-disclosure or not until we got Frank Duran, the real estate man, to verify that. Okay? So I think you're in the driver's seat here. John, what's happening? John?
Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you?
All right. I got tired of hearing you about the referral list, so I went on there, and on Thursday we spent $48,000 with Champion Windows.
You know what?
I love Champion.
Those windows are among the finest windows ever made. I'm
really
serious.
Look good.
John, you're going to absolutely love them. The latching system, the hardware, the thermal break, it's unbelievable. And I mean that sincerely. Those windows are top. Not only they look good, but I bet you, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the sound, if you did that much, it blocks out so much sound, you're going to be amazed.
Did you know they do sunrooms too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Wonderful sunrooms. But
yeah, they had a heck of a salesman. He was a heck of a nice guy, and I think he's going to do a good job for us. So I'll call you in 12 weeks and tell you.
Okay. Oh, you haven't had him done. Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. Here's what I want to tell you. You will not lose a dime of that money because of what it does to your house. House with bad windows can kill a sale. It can kill a sale because people don't even want to think about having them replaced. Even if they budget for it, your house will sell much better if you have windows. Now, people don't mind carpeting and painting, but for some reason, windows are a big deal to people. Jackie, welcome. By the way, we have a couple lines open, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Jackie, what's happening?
Hi there. Thank you for that comment about return.
Yes, return air. You need a lot of return air.
Yes, I have 2 of those, and I thought I cleaned houses for years, and I thought I would vacuum. I'll just take that off and vacuum around it. A good idea before.
Yeah, in fact, you should probably, if you've never had your ducts cleaned, you should probably have them cleaned at least once every 5 years. Now,
I had it done. Yeah, I agree.
Now, did they do the return air? Because that's just as important. Good. Well, then I don't think. When did they do it?
Probably about three years ago.
Yeah, you should be fine.
4 years.
But the return air goes through a filter, okay? But you still need to keep that area clean to keep the filter from clogging as well. Now, Jackie, who did your duct cleaning?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was 3-4 years ago, but it was good. I maintained my home. You've been real good to me, and I thank you. You've helped me a lot, and I've had problems, and I think you're special.
Thank you. Christian, did you have something to say?
I was just going to say, I know a duct cleaning company. It's up in northern Colorado. It's a Blue Sky Duct.
Did you ever use them?
I haven't used them personally. It's actually a personal friend of mine that runs the company.
We have some good
to do work anyway.
We have some good duct cleaners, Mark. We used to have more, but
Todd Terry, Apple Air, they did mine not long ago.
Oh, they do that too, don't they?
Oh, yeah. He's got the whole setup, whatever you want to call it.
303-713-TALK.
Hey, Tom.
Thank you, Jackie. Yes.
A lady just called in and wanted to give Mark props on one time that he was right when the Dollar Tree steaks story came out. She said they were delicious. Now I think she's wrong and he's wrong.
She's full of crap.
Disgusting.
Mark didn't like those steaks.
She loved them.
I didn't even try them. They scared me.
No, it had such a strong chemical taste. First of all, to call it a steak, it was more like a slice of roast beef. I mean, they call them steaks. So you're basically paying $1 for a little thick slice of roast beef. Hey, after Chris, we're going to have lines wide open, people. You can get right in. 303-713-TALK. This is a rarity. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Tom. I heard you talking earlier about scumbags, and I got a scumbag for you.
What happened?
So I got online back in March and needed a boat part. You and I have talked before about one of my boats that got ran over by a forklift motor.
Yes.
But anyway, so, and there's two sides to this. This is the other side. And so I got online and was looking around for a lower unit for this motor and got a hold of a guy in Missouri, talked to him on the phone, seemed like a legit dude, had what I needed. So he dings my debit card for $1,988.53. And make a long story short, he, after a couple weeks of calling back and forth with him, you know, and getting BS stories, he made up a tracking, or printed out a label at his house, and he never sent the lower unit out here.
So you never got it?
Never got it.
You're going to get the money back. You can get that money back. What?
Oh, wait. So I go to the bank and I file fraud charges on him, or you know, through the bank.
Chris, let me ask you something. Was this a debit or credit?
Debit.
You used a debit card?
I'm an idiot. I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but didn't you use it as a credit card?
Well, it was a Visa card.
Yeah, okay.
No, but sometimes, Mark...
Yeah, but he's got a little protection still from an outright ripoff like this.
Do you?
Well,
yeah, of course. If you put your PIN number in, no.
Chris, hold on. I want to hear what happened, okay? Because I believe if you use it as a credit card, yes, you will have protection. But if you use it as a debit where you put your PIN in, you're screwed. That's like giving the guy cash. We got to figure out what you did and how you did it. Man, I hope you got this thing worked out. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk about treatment for addiction. I'll bet you anyone listening knows an addict. I don't know, maybe not. I think so. Christian, you know an addict? Do you know any addicts at all?
I have known some in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, friends,
exactly.
Personal friends, sure.
I tell you that it is so pervasive, it's unbelievable, especially opiates. Oh, my goodness, what it does to people. So anyway, we have this rehabilitation center. It's not really a center. They have several locations. It's a treatment facility called, and we really, really love these people, Raleigh House, because they are not just run-of-the-mill. These guys have a caring, loving staff, and they have this number established for us. So my listeners can call if they have an addict in their life and they'd like to know how to approach them. They're going to tell you. They're going to give you suggestions. They'll also talk to them for you if you can get them to call, or if you're an addict listening and you've always wanted to do something, give them a call. Listen, I'm going to tell you, you need insurance in most cases, but they'll work it out with you no matter what, because it does get expensive, but that's no matter where you go. It's a 90-day program. They do the medical stuff like the blood work and nutrition and supplements, along with the behavioral counseling and treatment. Here's the number to call. And they're waiting for your call because this is a deal with us where they will help you get to the addict in your life. 720-893-5559. Now, call now if you can, but if you need to talk to family members, write this number down, 720-893-5559. Now, that's just for the Troubleshooter Show and my listeners, because this is for talking to addicts and how to talk to them. TheRaleighHouse.com, 720-893-5559.
This report is brought to you by Mercy. Typical delays in the typical spots. Northbound I-25 heavy downtown between Alameda and Colfax.
Just what you're doing is perfect. Great. Because if you leave it on, we get a lot of background noise. A lot of people don't do that on and off, and on and off is important.
At this time, so good news there. The weather forecast: 30% chance of afternoon.
You know, the argument, can people change? So Hitler could change. Does it undo the million people he killed?
No. Okay. Now, I don't think Hitler. I mean, there are certain people that are just
Shouldn't bring up Hitler. It's way overused.
I'm a Democrat. What is that? I'm sorry.
You got Denver Spine coming up right.
I did it.
You did?
Yep. I swear.
Denver Spine is a stem cell.
Stem Cell Institute. I did it in the beginning. Remember, I said I need to tell people about that. So Rockies is the only one left.
Okay.
Quote agent, but the true story that can save you.
No, but
and I did. If you want to know when for your log, I did Denver Spine right after the open. I said, I like to open up by telling you about one of our good people.
Yeah, I think I remember that, actually.
So not using extreme examples, I'll take that back. But, Jim,
No, it doesn't undo anything.
that's
No.
what I'm saying. So
No,
it's like,
no. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be chastised for what he did. But truly, man, if people have done wrong and they truly own it, I mean, God, I like that.
he never even owned it, though.
Well,
No, he didn't.
And he didn't own anything.
And he
I
didn't
don't
say,
remember this
by the
one.
way, that was wrong, I'm sorry. or-
Nothing.
Now, here's the deal. He did sound sincere to me, but I'm a sap sometimes for a sort of...
He sounded pretty genuine today. I mean, you know.
You see your life.
I mean, really, life...
Yeah, that was something to say. I
When
mean,
you're really, truly... look at how petty everything will be.
right.
When
All
you're
of a
faced
sudden,
with
you
life or
got
death, what does anything mean?
right.
Exactly right. I agree. I see it.
I know you got sponsors, and this is all very official, but if there's, if you find an opportunity to say, hey, who do you work for? I'd love to know the name of my company.
I'll mention that.
Yeah,
There's nothing
okay.
wrong with that.
It's Earth Woods Custom Cabinetry. It's up in Loveland.
We should get him on the...
We service the state. I mean, we go.
We should get him
up
on
and
their
down the
referral
road.
list.
Oh, I'm
Seriously.
thrilled.
Earthwood's Custom Cabinet.
You're gonna
They're all
pay.
custom, right?
They're all custom.
I don't
It's
know
all
if we have
made
a
in house.
custom cabinet.
KHOW.com, an iHeart radio station.
You're gonna pay marginally more than you would at a big.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. Now, Chris used his card. Now, I didn't get it clear. Was it the debit card you used, or did you use it as a credit card?
It was a debit card, but I didn't give him my PIN number.
Okay, but you used the PIN
over the phone.
So, Mark, I don't get it. If he used that card over the phone,
It's very similar to using a credit card, although a actual credit card gives you a few more things. But he should be able to go back and
now, what
get rid
did
of
your
that.
bank say?
My bank did a fraud dispute.
Good.
And they sent it on to Visa. Visa did their investigation, got a hold of the guy. So back up just a little bit. What the guy did was he printed out a shipping label for $70 and was trying to make it look like UPS lost it. So I had to go through UPS and have them do their investigation.
Well, maybe they did lose it. How do you know they did?
Well, they sent me back a response that they never received the package. It was never picked up and it was never dropped off. They never scanned the
well then,
thing.
So what is Visa doing with this information? Are they charging you or not?
Visa issued me back my money.
Good.
Within a day, and so they get a hold of this guy, and he sends them the same tracking information as what he sent me, and this is an ongoing deal. I mean. And
what happened, Chris? What happened?
The Visa was satisfied with that and said, okay, we're going to take our $1,988 back out of your account. I said, whoa, because I called the bank, and the bank told me, nope, as far as we're concerned, it's fraud. You don't have to pay it back.
This guy is just flat out lying.
Oh yeah, he's lied. So and then this was in March, and now the investigation has gone as far as I can take it with Visa.
But wait a minute.
UPS.
But wait a minute. Is Visa still contending that you owe the money?
Yes. And then on the 31st of August, they're yanking it.
Why yanking what?
Taking the money out of my account.
No. Yeah. You're going to close that account and move out of that bank because you have to. I'm telling you, you close and you don't make an account in another bank. I mean, in that same bank. You literally, and I mean this, Chris, I've had this happen. You literally close the account, you close it, you move to another bank, you're done. And forget them. And here's the deal. Why doesn't Visa simply check the tracking number? They would see it was never scanned.
Right. And
why don't they? Why don't they?
I don't know that.
Did you ask them, Chris? Did you ask them? It's one phone call.
Yes, I did. As far as it's easier said than done with Visa. It's like pulling teeth.
I've never had a problem ever, and it's not Visa, it's usually the issuer. I have Capital One and I have some others. We have never had a problem disputing a charge, ever.
Yep.
Who is your issuer? Who's your issuer?
Elevations Credit Union.
You know what? That has nothing to do with Visa. This is all on them.
Yep.
I would close it. I'm telling you, Chris, close it.
Okay.
Now, here's the bad news. If you have any accounts with them, they can go into any account you have under what's called a cross-collateralization agreement. If you don't know what that is, you better, because cross-collateral will get you in trouble, because they can go into other accounts that you own for mistakes on one or disputes on another account.
And almost every credit union has them. If you have a car loan and don't make that payment, you have a checking account, they'll pull it right out.
Now, here's the deal, Chris.
Well, I have a couple loans through them.
Well, the loans are fine, but get rid of get rid of any savings you have in there, anything. I promise you, if you don't, they're going to take it. I can't believe, if you're telling the truth, I can't believe that Visa can't do a simple phone call to find out. And I don't think it's Visa's problem, because really it's not Visa. All Visa is a mechanism. They don't have the money. It's the issuers, the banks that do it. The issuers move funds back and forth. Visa's just the system, just like MasterCard. It's just a system. I didn't blow past my break, right? No, right? Okay, good. I'm going so fast here. John, what's happening with you, sir? John?
Yes.
What's going on, man?
I took my car in to get my air conditioning fixed, and I told him if the compressor was bad, I wasn't going to get it replaced. But he told me that there's hoses in between that need to be fixed. But he's telling me $250, and I'm just wondering if that's too much. It sounds like it's too much to replace hoses.
I don't think so.
No.
They got to do a full a vac and recharge and other stuff.
That's where the money.
He owes me for the recharge, because he put it in there not knowing the hoses were bad. And he said, well, I'll
well, wait a minute. Why would he take that? Why would he take that on him, though? Because he did that.
Well, if he said he'd do it, I'd call up Pro Auto, man.
One day.
Call up Pro Auto or Sheridan and ask them, hey, is this price in line? They'll tell you. They're great guys.
Pro Auto or Sheridan.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of line, but give them a call. You call 303 Pro Auto. Say Tom Martino just told me to call to find out. I need an opinion, or take it to them if you want. Or you say he owes you something, but anyway, hold on a second here. Tanya, what's happening with you, Tanya?
Good afternoon. I'm calling to see if you know of an attorney or some kind of advice we can get. A friend of mine passed away about a week ago and had a funeral on Saturday. We had to do a fundraiser because she didn't have insurance. And the husband was out of state. They were still married, but hadn't been around in 2 years.
So they were kind of separated, Tanya?
Right, but they were talking about getting back together. Well, he came in for the funeral. The family was concerned that he wouldn't do the right thing, and he signed for monies to finish getting her buried because she's still at the mortuary.
What do you mean he signed?
To release her 401k, that type of thing. He's a beneficiary.
Okay.
Well, he signed all that, and then he left state.
Yeah.
And she is still at the mortuary.
And they're not going to bury her?
That no one has money for that.
Well, they're not.
We did.
I don't know what happens. Actually, I don't know what happens in a case like that.
The state generally pays for it.
We don't know either. The sister is trying to, I think she went this morning, to get a judge to stop him from getting the funds because he's not planning on using the funds for
now, what funds? What funds are we talking about?
Her 401k, her life insurance, her Social Security or disability insurance. That was all. He was a beneficiary for her. And
well, if he's a beneficiary, you're not going to stop it.
Yeah, he's going to just end up paying the bill, or they'll go after him.
Yeah.
He's not paying the bill. He left, I guess, yesterday.
So he's going to get the money. You can't stop that. So right now, the state, for indigent people, will reimburse that funeral home.
Yeah, I think it's up to, if I recall, it's like well, maybe $1,500. I was going to say $900, but somewhere around there.
Okay.
But it's really none of your, I mean, no, there's nothing really that you can do.
Okay.
I mean, you know, what exactly, now I know this sounds crazy when I ask this, but I'm not asking like emotionally, but why do you care about this thing with this economic?
She's like a sister. I've known her for over 30 years. But why do you
care about him and money and all of that? Why do you care? I mean, you want to make sure she gets a proper...
Right, because now the funeral home's going to start charging storage.
Well, who are they going to collect from?
Well,
no one.
Ultimately,
why do you care? That's what I'm getting at. I'm not talking about your friend, but why do you care if they start charging?
Feels that she thinks he should be obligated to do the right thing and pay
right.
for the burial.
Is that why you care, Tanya?
I care because we had a fundraiser and we were able to get money together to do the funeral.
Yes.
And then there's like another $5,000 for the cemetery, and she's just like family. She was like family. Her family is
no,
like family.
but you still haven't answered my question. Really, I understand she's like family, and you care about her. But why do you care about storage charges and all this? They can't hurt her. I don't know why she cares about that part.
It might be. Well, she probably doesn't even know this. But when the state ends up paying, of course, that's a cremation.
Yeah, and that's something religiously they don't want to happen.
So now that part I understand, but as far as the storage and this big bill, are you saying, Tanya, if you and a few other people want to help, it's just going to be insurmountable because of this, because it's being compounded? Is that why you're calling? I mean,
right.
What funeral home is it?
Pipkins Mortuary.
Okay. Have you talked to them?
No, I didn't. This is just.
Who's her personal representative? Who's her personal representative?
Well, it was her sister until they found out that she was married. Then they refused to deal with her and want to deal with only her husband, and the husband doesn't want to have anything to do with any of them.
Well, then, did she have a will?
No, she did not.
So anyone right now can open up probate. Did anyone open up? But
no, I don't think that they thought of that as
Tanya.
an option.
I don't see. Here's the deal. I don't know what to do because you have no power in this. You're just a friend. I don't mean that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
you don't have any power. You can't unless you can get him to assign you as personal representative. Can you
and I really, it's not for me. I guess I'm just trying to get information so I can help her sister go the right direction.
Okay.
She's kind of spinning in circles.
The sister needs to get the husband. Will the ex transfer, the POA or not power, but
no.
He won't. He wants to stay.
No, he already said that the death certificate's going to be mailed to him, and he's out in St. Louis now.
But what is he going to do about her, did he say?
I don't think he's going to do anything. I think he's going to collect the money, and he's just going to stay out there in St. Louis.
But, I mean, then why would he care about assigning someone else to be the personal representative? That won't take his money. Just say, look, we just need a personal representative to bury her. We don't, would he at least do that? You're not trying to collect from him right now. You're never going to collect from him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're just not going to. Okay. Even though it's the right thing, you don't have any power or standing to do it. But if you could would he transfer under those circumstances? If he knows you're not trying to come after him for money, would he at least transfer, the personal representative? Will he transfer that to the sister? Do you think, yes or no? Do you want us to call him?
No, I don't know.
You want us to do it? You want us to call and ask him?
Possibly. I don't have that information with me.
You get that information. Hold on. Give her a number to call back and an email. Okay, Suzanne? One of our back-end emails. And then have her find out, get his number. We'll call him and say, look, man, I know you're out there. You're getting the money. You don't want anything to do with this. But would you at least give someone here the power to take care of her? That's what we're talking about.
And real quick, it's $2,500, and then if you get some other assistance like Medicaid, it can go to $1,500 and $1,000.
Okay, so Tanya, there's a good chance social services can pay for that too. 303-713-8255. Now listen, right now, time to tell you about one of my nice places to browse, Rockies, and I say browse because 63rd and Federal, several acres of used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. All of the prices clearly marked. They own them 100%. And when you want to drive away, you can pay cash. You can do a trade. You can do financing among 40 lenders. So here's what they have. Variety in the actual cars themselves. They have all makes, models, years, brands, and colors. Then you have variety in financing. 40 different lenders, and you can choose a program right for you. And then they have variety when it comes to the way you want to do it. Do you want to trade? They'll give you the top trade values because they sell most of them, and it's all up to you. Just give them a call Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, or drop by 63rd and Federal. The number is 303-426-4646.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline. Install westbound 6th
Avenue approaching Sheridan. That's been cleared out of the way. Traffic flow back up to speed. A couple of off-highway crashes to watch out for. And you drive across town, there's a wreck.
What do you think the average funeral is?
Tire involving a motorcycle
10?
on the west side.
Well, 5? Depends on the lot. Do you bury it or a lot cheaper?
Yeah, well, of course.
Weather forecast.
There's no land.
Did you ever see Louise Aaron? What she looks like?
No.
She's a young woman.
Like how young?
I think she was in her 40s.
Jeez, what do you think? Like a brandy?
Cancer is the only
That wouldn't be that sudden. I was thinking an aneurysm, but I don't know.
Well, no, she was sick. You don't get sick with an aneurysm.
No, that's true. It's like that.
She was sick for a while.
If something happens,
see, I didn't know
someone you know,
someone was on our referral list.
Yeah, attorney too.
I mean, she wasn't paying in the ass as far as on the. She was making.
Well, her assistant was.
She was making changes all the time.
She was a really good attorney, though. 2 kids in college right now.
She does have 2 kids
in college.
So
So she's probably a little older than that, now that I say that.
And features Champion's exclusive Comfort 365.
Yeah, but I mean, 50s maybe.
Yeah, 50s.
That's too soon.
Oh, it's way too soon. I had a good friend, man. Oh my God, he had an aneurysm. He was going to take his daughter. Jeff Arnold, he was going to take his daughter to cheer practice. She was in 8th or 9th grade. He said, I'm going to go lay down for a few minutes. Daughter found him dead probably a half hour later, aneurysm. He said, I got a really bad headache. I'm going to go lay down, then I'll take you to practice. And that was it.
Tempted or forced into surgery just because you've been told you're bone on bone. If you want
You're pretty much cooked if you have a brain aneurysm.
In fact, it's probably better to be cooked.
Right. Otherwise, you're just like blinking and breathing for the rest of your life.
There's the smartest computer. Oh, you missed it. Smartest computer in the world going into space right now. It'll be the most powerful computer in space. I wonder what that bad boy is going to be up there doing.
Using laser-guided video imaging with a series of 15-minute physician-administered joint cushioning treatments. This modern, non-surgical method for knee arthritis relief is getting rave
We should,
over town, and results.
I think I'll head out to that place.
If you have arthritis,
Yeah, but he's not going to be home. I mean, if he's working during the day, you know,
White pickup truck and a guy in a construction unit.
He's got to consider. It might be a ways. How far is away is it?
Risk-free screening. 800-578.
Say it again.
How far away is the place? Because, like I say, if you don't know he's going to be there, so it could just be a waste.
Oh, it's far away, Jack. Remember the bar I went out to check on? That's where it is. Dude, it is in the middle of BFE. No, I don't want to say where up here. But it is way the fudge out there.
You Republicans in Washington that broke your promises.
God, that bar was the biggest turd I've ever seen.
That what?
I went out to, these people wanted to buy this bar, so I went out and checked it out for them.
It's like vacation.
This is me, right?
Hi, Tom Martino. Don't forget Genesis Total
Exteriors. If you're looking for kitchen, bath, or a remodel of any kind, basements, whatever you're looking for, Genesis can do it for you. Inside and out, he does siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks. He also does kitchens, baths, basements, large and small additions. I would call now to get him ready for the winter. He can do a design build. If you start from now, it'll be great because he's offering scheduling and value for that because and special discounts because he's so busy right now with this outside stuff. 303-679-8509, 679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Speaking of kitchens and stuff, you do some work. Our common man today, he does, Christian does drawing, designing.
Yeah, kitchen design. Yeah.
And have you been doing only kitchens for your whole career?
Kitchens and baths primarily, but
yeah.
It's also, you know, someone wants to do a study, you know, built-ins in their office.
And you work where?
I work for Earthwood's Custom Cabinetry.
And all they do is custom cabinetry. That means from the ground up.
From the ground up. Everything's
Really?
built from scratch.
What's the most wild kind of cabinets? I mean, cabinets seem to me to be just cabinets. What makes them custom? The sizes?
Well, it's really the manufacturing facility. It's
but what makes it custom, though? In other words, what do people request that would make it custom?
So you can build in any increment you want.
Okay.
Whereas most,
standards.
Yeah. There's other big national cabinet companies.
Yeah.
They're governed into certain.
Yeah, they have certain sizes. So first of all, you can have any size you want. But what about doors? Aren't doors usually doors? I mean, or are there like infinite number of doors?
Oh, there's an infinite number of doors.
Do you design when you design the kitchen? Do you call out for specs on cabinets?
Yeah, on all the doors. That's one of the biggest choices you're going to make.
So do you work with the homeowner?
Oh yeah, directly with the homeowner.
Now, do you show them like sketches, or do they dream it up? Because to me, I wouldn't want that responsibility. See, I'm the kind that wants to see something and say, yeah, I want that.
So at Earthwoods, we have a special software that we use that with some generic dimensions.
And you can mix and match different things.
And I'll put an entire presentation together for a client to see their kitchen in 3D.
What's the highest end kitchen you've ever designed? Give me a price.
Oh man, a price?
Yeah, the highest end. A kitchen alone.
150 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I would have thought more. I would have thought more. But
yeah, I mean that's probably that's an extremely special project. I mean, $150,000 in the kitchen alone is. But you get into those numbers, especially when you're doing whole house projects. I mean, that's just the kitchen. Then you add on 6-7 bathrooms plus some other built-ins in other areas. It's not to freak people out. I mean, that's I do $30,000.
No, I understand.
Or 20.
Yeah. 303-713-TALK. Jonathan, what's happening? You have a comment.
Yeah, just calling about the last caller, or caller before last. You told him to close his account with Elevations. That's not actually going to protect him. It'll just go as a charge-off against his credit, and he'll be have a $1,900 charge-off against him.
Well, no, I didn't think it would. I didn't think it would make it go away. But he's going to at least not have the money taken out. That's what I want. I mean, he doesn't want to be $1,900 in the hole, and he shouldn't be for something he didn't get. And then what I'm thinking is, after at least he knows his money's not going to be taken, then he can address the other part, which is getting them to do a proper investigation. But
yeah, well, the disputes department should take care of that with his credit union.
Why do you think they're not doing it? Why do you think they're not doing it? Because he said he called UPS, and if you give him the tracking number, they will tell you themselves they never scanned the package.
And that sounds like something that's between the disputes department of his credit union and Visa themselves. His bank, if Elevations is telling him that they're not going to take that back out, they might be absorbing that, and Visa actually might be countering against the bank, saying that they're not going to do that.
When you say Visa, who do you mean? You mean the issuing bank, right?
No, the issuing bank has a disputes department. Visa themselves, as a company, is the person who's theoretically coming back and saying they're taking the money back. The disputes failed with Visa, but
why do you think? See, I didn't know Visa even got involved in that level.
Yeah.
Does every dispute go? Does every dispute go through that level, or do they let their issuers take care of disputes?
It's generally a certain amount limit of cash instead of just all disputes go one way or the other. A lot of disputes, I think it's under $250, the bank will just take the hit versus Visa paying it with their insurance. So,
well, what makes you think Visa would pay that? Can't they simply go after this guy if he has recurring transactions and just debit his account?
They should be able to, and that sounds again like a dispute between Visa's fighting their disputes department.
Yeah.
That guy might have something convincing showing that UPS, but yeah, if the UPS tracking shows that it was never dropped off or picked up, then it should be a slam dunk for
What do you do for a living, by the way?
I'm an import-export. My wife actually does. She works in the disputes department.
Oh, man, I would love to talk to your wife.
He's an importer-exporter.
Yeah. Anyway, we're out of time. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Thank you for being here, Christian. We appreciate it. Don't forget, people, plumlineservices.com. They were on earlier. And we're out of time. Save all your problems for me.
iHeartRadio has all of your favorite talk shows and all of your stations, all for free. iHeartRadio makes it so
who's Rachel, who's Dr. Russell Warren, president of ethics.
iHeartRadio keeps you connected to KHAP, so you never miss a thing. Plus, if you want variety, you can check